All right, guys, we are live again. I'm going to try to go live a bunch this week. It's the week of UFC 280, Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. My final prediction video for UFC 280 was out today. It's actually doing pretty well. I released it a couple hours ago. So if you haven't checked that out, go check it out after the stream. Yeah, so now we can talk about all the predictions in detail. Because the last couple days, I haven't wanted to go too much in detail into fights that I hadn't decided on who I was picking yet. But now they're all out there. They're all out there. They're all on a playlist. You can easily find them on the channel now. Let me just go double check and make sure I put them all on the playlist because sometimes I might have forgot. Yeah, they're all out there. So Oliveira Makhachev breakdown and prediction. Sterling Dillashaw breakdown and prediction. Yan O'Malley. Dariush Gamrot, Chukagian Fuhrer. Muhammad Brady and Makhachev versus Gordon. I also have, is UFC 280 worth your money? Should Volkanovski be the backup? Reasons I love UFC 280, reasons I hate UFC 280, and then a bunch of early prediction videos all on the channel as we speak. And now, not only that, but another stream on top of it, guys. What more can you want from me? What more can you guys want from me? So I've been trying to, this week I'm trying to pump out a bunch of stuff. We got a bunch of videos out, all quality videos. And, yeah, I'm going to try to do a bunch of streams this week. The video for the main event is shooting through the roof as we speak. I'm looking at the graph. It's literally straight up. We're about to be at 2,000 views in 4 hours, which is really good for my channel. We've gotten like 600 views in the last hour alone. So it's doing very, very good. So I'm going to keep trucking along, hopefully getting to 10K at the end of this year. I don't know. It's a lofty goal, but we're almost at 5,500. So UFC 280 is going to be a big week for the channel. What's going on, French fries? What's going on, Sager? If however you pronounce your name. What's up, Derek? What's up beside you? What's up, Ice Cream Man? Yeah, with the late live. Guys, do me a favor if you haven't already. Scroll down a little bit. Click the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. We did like a 2-hour live stream last night as well. And then I was going to go to sleep. And I was going to do my prediction video tonight. And release it tonight. But I said, you know what? I would feel so much better if I did it tonight. So you know what I did? I started watching old fights. I started making all the graphics as I was watching the old fights. And, boom. I made one of the best. I watched it back. I usually don't watch my videos back. I watched that one back because I thought that was one of the best prediction videos I've ever done. Agree with me or disagree with me? I think it was a damn good video. And I'm so happy that it's actually doing very good because, I mean, more people get to see it. I think it's one of my best videos and more people get to see it. So I'm hyped for that. I mean, the graph is literally shooting through the roof. It already has almost it almost has 250 hours of watch time in just a couple hours, which is huge. So if you guys haven't checked out that main event prediction, you're watching this now, you're watching it in the future, go check it out. What's up, Biscuit? What's up, Dean? Great content, dude. Really enjoy the breakdowns. Thank you, V Fits. I'm glad you're enjoying the breakdowns. They're one of my favorite videos to do. There's some of my favorite videos to do are the breakdown and predictions. So I'm glad you guys enjoy them. There's obviously always going to be a couple people who complain about them, and there's been a couple people commenting on them, you know, just saying the dumbest shit. But I know a lot of you guys enjoy them, and they're the videos that take me the longest to do because I do a lot of research. I make a bunch of graphics. Those graphics take longer than you would think to make. I got to make the side-by-sides for the weigh-in. I got to make the side-by-sides for just a regular picture that I throw in there. I got to make the tail of the tape graphic, plug in all the information, recenter it all. I got to make the thumbnail, which I always look for high-quality photos. So I would say on the short side for the main event prediction video, probably 4 hours, 3 hours maybe. 3 to 4 hours for the main event prediction. So I'm glad you enjoy it. What's up, Seal? What's up, Rhythm? What's up, Anthony? It's Anthony back again watching the stream. How do you see Oliveira versus Islam going round by round up until the finish? It's going to be interesting. It's going to be very, very interesting. I basically think Oliveira is going to starch him out in the first round. I think Makhachev's going to come out, be super defensive. I think Oliveira is going to be very aggressive, but a little bit more measured. He's not going to walk into a takedown. But his striking is just going to be too much for Islam. And I think Oliveira, in that first round, his striking is just going to be so crisp. I think he's going to be more motivated than ever. I think Oliveira sometimes, gets way too aggressive, and I think he's still going to be aggressive in this fight. But I think he's going to press forward on Islam. Islam's going to make a mistake. Sometimes, and somebody commented and asked me for clarification on this, Islam's entries to get to the clinch, to get to the legs, to look for a takedown are sometimes very sloppy and leaves his chin exposed. And I think what's going to happen is you're going to see an aggressive Oliveira, but he's going to be so ready to defend those takedowns and kind of keep Islam at bay and not let Islam get close in on his hips. And I think Islam's going to kind of be reaching out, looking to clinch, looking to grab the legs, looking to get a hold of Oliveira any way he can. And I think Oliveira is just going to start piecing him up. It's going to be a little bit more measured. Islam is going to be looking for a couple takedowns. Oliveira is going to stuff him, but to the point where Islam doesn't even get close. It's not even really going to be a takedown defense because Oliveira is going to see it coming from a mile away. And then as Oliveira gets a little bit more confident with his reactions, I think he's going to clip Islam, hurt him badly, follow him to the ground, and brutalize him on the ground and finish him. There's my official prediction. You can watch the full breakdown video on the channel. But yeah, basically, I think Islam's striking just isn't there, in comparison to Charles Oliveira's. I do think there's multiple ways Islam can win. I think the longer the fight goes, I think it's in Islam Makhachev's favor. If you told me this fight went over 2 rounds, I would say, I'll say 60% chance Makhachev wins over 2 rounds. So it's a very compelling fight. I'm not I'm not 100% confident on Oliveira, but watching the tape, seeing past opponents, seeing past tendencies, I think Oliveira's power and his striking is too much, and I think he's going to come out, and I think he's going to look to just put damage on Islam right away, and he's not going to walk into a takedown. He's going to be super measured, boom, 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 boom. Islam's going to look to close the distance. Oliveira's backing away immediately and shucking it off. And I've said this every live stream and pretty much every video for the last month. One of the most underrated parts of Charles Oliveira's game is his clinch work and his knees in the clinch. So I could see Makhachev getting in on a clinch and then Oliveira just lighting him up with knees and then disengaging and circling out. And it's gonna be a fun fight for sure. But the longer the fight goes, the more it favors Makhachev. I also do think there is a very small but real chance that Makhachev chins him in the first round. As crazy as that sounds, Oliveira constantly gets clipped. And I know some of the times he gets just rocked a little bit and he falls to his back because he knows nobody wants to follow him down. Makhachev has power, okay? And he wings wild punches at points. The laws of statistics, and I said this exact sentence in the video, the laws of statistics says eventually Oliveira is going to get chinned. And maybe in this fight where he doesn't necessarily respect the striking of Makhachev, there's a real possibility Makhachev could just clip him because he's coming in looking to light him up, kind of throwing reckless abandonment. So I'm really interested to see how that first round plays out. But I think Oliveira's got it. I think Oliveira's going to finish him badly. I could also see Oliveira hurting him badly and then submitting him. That was my initial prediction. If you go back a couple months ago when the fight was announced, that was my early prediction for this fight, was a first round sub. But it sounds crazy because I'm saying basically Oliveira's going to have a dominant performance, but I'm not overlooking the abilities of Islam Makhachev. Islam Makhachev is very good. And if Oliveira makes the mistake of just letting Makhachev get him on his back and control him on the back, and then Oliveira, reverts to that old Charles Oliveira that's just spamming submissions nonstop, he's probably going to get brutally KO'd with ground and pound. Because he has this tendency in the past. I think he's learned from it. He hasn't done it in a long while. He'll get down. He'll be on his back. He'll just start spamming submissions that he can't even get. Sometimes, obviously, it works. A lot of the time, and in most of his losses, they haven't. You know, he'll roll for a knee bar that's not there and leave his chin wide open, starts eating shots. You know, start looking for an arm bar. It's not there. He starts eating shots. I hope he doesn't religiously go for submissions if he's on his back. You know, obviously try a couple. He's got great jiu-jitsu and submission skills. But I think unless Makhachev's hurt, I think Makhachev is going to be defensively responsible enough to avoid him. I think if Oliveira gets him with a submission, I think it's going to be in a transitional space where he rocks Makhachev. Makhachev shoots in on a sloppy takedown. Boom, guillotine. Or, you know, he rocks Makhachev or clips him with a nice body shot or a body kick. Makhachev gets a good takedown as Oliveira starts to get really aggressive. And then before Makhachev can even get his wits about him, Oliveira just locks in a triangle choke or something along those lines. A real quick submission. I don't think Makhachev's going to be chilling on top in full guard, beating Oliveira up, and then all of a sudden Oliveira's going to pull off a submission. That's not the type of guy that Oliveira is, and that's not the type of defensive jiu-jitsu and submission guy that Makhachev is. You're not just going to catch him out of the blue in a triangle attempt, in an armbar attempt. It's just not going to happen. He's too high level for that. It's going to have to be in a scramble where, you know, maybe Makhachev gets dropped, and as he's trying to get up, Oliveira gets on his back and chokes him out. It's not going to be one of those slow burn type submissions. It's going to be, they're standing, boom, he hits him with a right hand. Next thing you know, Oliveira's choking him out. That's how the submission would go down, in my opinion. If Makhachev is able to impose his will on Oliveira, I think the most likely path, like if you like Islam to win this fight, I think the most likely path for Islam is probably a 4th or 5th round TKO or submission, because Oliveira tends to fade in those later rounds. And I know we haven't seen him go 5 rounds in recent history, but in the past, you know, in 3-round fights, he would start to get a little bit tired. And I know he went 3 rounds with Dustin Poirier. He was perfectly fine. But the type of fight that Makhachev's going to make him fight, and if it's going Makhachev's way, I see like a 4th, 5th round stoppage win for Makhachev. I think that's the most likely path to victory for Islam Makhachev. Just wear on Oliveira, take him down, beat him up, make him eat some shots while he's looking for submission attempts. And then as the fight goes on, eventually Islam Makhachev just starts brutalizing him. Oliveira just is exhausted. He can't get up off the bottom. It's a late 4th round. And Makhachev just gets into like a full mount position, or he takes the back and flattens him out and just starts pummeling him. And basically Oliveira has nowhere to go. And finishes him that way. Like if I was picking Makhachev to win, I'd probably take Makhachev by 4th round, late 4th round TKO. So, but I'm not taking Makhachev to win. So that's just all for hypotheticals. But what are these live streams for but hypotheticals? You know? There you go. All right, guys, keep the questions coming. I'm about to get back to the chat here in a second because I kind of went on a rant there. And I'm falling way behind in the chat, I can already see. Do me a favor, guys. If you haven't already liked the stream, please like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing a bunch of these live streams all week. I may not stream tomorrow, but I'll definitely be streaming Wednesday. And I'll definitely be streaming Friday. And I'll also be streaming the fight on Saturday. Guys. So make sure to join me for that as well. All right, now where was I at? I have no idea where I was at. I think somewhere around here. Joey, I respectfully disagree with you. Your 280 main event opinion. Still respect it. You presented a great argument. I think the takedown defense isn't as bulletproof. I think Oliveira could get taken down, but I think if he does, I think he'll be able to scramble. He'll be able to when he's fresh, he'll be able to keep a scramble back to his feet. But I also think he's going to be able to defend him early, and I think he's going to starch him out. I do think if it goes long, I think Makhachev will get him down, wear on him, and beat him up. Where was I at? Muhammad Makhachev versus Tyara in 3 years. Yes. Agreed his striking isn't good, but his coach says most well-rounded fighter ever. Yeah, pretty funny for sure. What are your thoughts on what happened with Aljo on Twitter? Haven't even seen it. Have you seen the comedy special Gringo Poppy? No, I have not. Will Oliveira get a rematch if he loses? It depends. Depends how it goes. But I don't think, based on the way I think Islam would win, I would say no. I'm 1,000% sure Islam walks through him. It's a mismatch. Islam finishes Oliveira, breaks him, and finishes him, makes him quit. Okay. I don't see Islam losing. Fair enough. I don't think it's. I mean, I'm not like super confident in the pick. I mean, I'm like 60-40 on my pick. What does everyone else think, Islam or Oliveira? I think Islam, even though I want Charles to take it. Fair enough. If Makhachev wins, UFC going to put Conor against him? Hell. Even though Conor wouldn't deserve a title shot, that'd be hell of fun. The guys Oliveira has been able to scramble against and win through grappling are way shorter than him. The last guy who grappled with him could match his length was Felder. There you go. If Conor beats Makhachev, Habib said he would come back. Really? Did he really? I have a feeling that he did not say that. Does Oliveira have technique to submit Islam, or is Islam's grappling too good? I mean, I think he does, but I think it's unlikely. Again, unless it's in a transitional space or he rocks Islam and Islam shoots in on a takedown and he's rocked, or he gets him down and he's already still rocked and he's just trying to recover and Oliveira hurries up and throws up a triangle. I would put money on Charles. That's how confident I am. The fact we still have people who think Islam is going to make Charles quit is crazy, man. I mean, I don't think anyone quits in there. They just give it their all and then it's not enough. That's what I think. That's what I think happens for the most part. That's what I think happens. Let's see where we're at here. I think Oliveira's stand-up might be better. Do you think he will try to keep it on the feet to utilize? I think he should if he's smart. If he tries to initiate the grappling, I don't think it's super smart. Let's see. My chat stopped working for some reason. I don't know why. And now I have to pull this chat out, which is super annoying. But actually, it might be better. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm just adjusting my windows here. What I'm going to do is do this so I can peruse around and still see. Okay. Let me open that up right there. Boom, right there. I just jumped on stream as soon as I had it ready, so. Okay, what happened was Aljo had a picture with Tate, and he kind of said some things he probably shouldn't have said. He kept doubling down too, so people switched up on him. The community on Twitter, at least, I really don't pay attention to that stuff. I find these weird, like, social media, like, trendy people the same way I think of a couple other, people that we've talked about before. If you watch the channel, you know what I'm talking about. And to be honest, I like to pay it absolutely no mind. It just doesn't interest me. And I don't want to support it by talking about it, if that makes sense. So I don't know if Aljo is in the right or wrong, but my thoughts are basically, I don't care. I don't care. If you want to be a part of that, like, weird, like, trendy, like, controversial, but popular, like, niche, I guess. And it's just weird to me. It's just weird to me. But I haven't paid attention. I'm not a fan of Aljo just because, like, I don't hate Aljo. But I'm not a huge fan of Aljo just because of the way he got the title and kind of rubbed me the wrong way, even though it's not really his fault. But for me, like, when you attach yourself, right or wrong, to these, like, again, I don't even know what to call them other than, like, these social media figures. You get what you deserve at that point. I don't care if they're, whatever they're saying is great or whatever they're saying is bad. I don't care. But if you're looking for relevancy by hanging out with these types of people, you get what you get. I mean, the internet's a ruthless place. I get a bunch of shit. I'm just the most, I'm just talking about MMA here. So it is what it is. I think people online are weird, but at the end of the day, people online are going to do what they want to do. But I'm not going to pay it too much mind. And I don't think anybody else should, because and we talked about this yesterday, when you continue to talk about these people, you're just giving them more relevancy. And that's exactly why you can go back when I had 500 subscribers. You can go back when I had 200 subscribers. Regardless of who it is, I'm just like, I'm not talking about these people because they already get enough undeserved attention. I'm not talking about it. He'll be able to blanket his weight so Oliveira can't move like he can against Nick Lentz, and Islam is way thicker. Yeah, I think Islam will be stronger once he gets him down, but he's going to have to cement that position. Pre-fight press conference will be translator v. translator, but UFC will be assholes and only allow 30 minutes for questions. Yeah, who knows? I have no idea what this is. Titan, hey, why won't you start interviewing old UFC fighters that's not on the spotlight anymore? I don't think it's idea for more subs. I don't think that's what it is. I feel like Chito Vera got lucky with Sean. If Sean beats Piotr, would you agree after? I feel Chito Vera got lucky. I don't think Chito Vera got lucky at all, but I have no idea what the rest of that question is. So, Oliveira looked way weaker than Poirier and couldn't get him down once officially, which is a bad look for strength. Okay. W take, appreciate you. Really don't like Volk getting a shot at Oliveira Makhachev winner. There are too many contenders in both divisions. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't necessarily love it either. I'd rather Volk just stay. I'd rather Volk just stay in his featherweight division and defend his title personally. But I can't doubt that a Volk versus Oliveira or Volk versus Makhachev would be big. What's more winnable fight for Conor? Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler, or Dan Hooker? Probably Tony Ferguson at this point. How excited are you for Wonderboy Holland? Don't care at all. Hey, Joey, new sub, like the analysis. Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate you. 1 point, though, a 3.5-inch reach advantage is not slight. That's a big advantage. No, did I say slight reach advantage? And what fight are we talking about here? I don't know. Maybe sometimes I misspeak, man. I'm not writing scripts for these. If you watch my videos, I have a general outline in my head of where I'm going with the video, and I have no script. I'm just going off the top of my head. So, I make mistakes, all right? I've been doing it for 1.5 years. So don't hold me to every single word. It's not like I have a script. 100% off the top of my head, basically. And I have the picture of the tail of the tape up that I can read. Are all NFTs scams? Are NFT scams and just UFC? I think it's all a scam. I mean, I'm sure there's people that have made money off of it, but it all seems like a scam to me. Is Conor done or no? He'll probably come back for like one-offs against winnable opponents. Something along those lines. So if Volk defends featherweight title, then who should fight next for the lightweight title? I think it should be Fiziev if he beats Gaethje, but also it should be the winner of Gamrot Beneil. So the winner of Gamrot Beneil, and then then Fiziev basically if he beats Gaethje. Who wins, Volk or Fiziev in a 5-rounder, and how did the fight end? At lightweight, I'll go Fiziev, and I think Fiziev stops him in like the 3rd round. In your Charles Islam video, I see. Okay, what do you think of the 3? I think Oliveira is going to use that reach advantage. I talked about the straight punches. I think he's going to use the straight punches to keep Makhachev at bay. I think he's going to use the teep kicks as well. It's not a crazy reach advantage, but it is a legitimate reach advantage. So I think Oliveira will use it. He'll be pumping the jab. He'll be throwing the teeps. And it'll just all be used to maintain the distance, to maintain that range against Islam. So basically to set up the takedown defense, honestly. That's what I'm thinking there. That's what I'm thinking, guys. Jeez Louise. I have no idea what this guy's talking about. I feel like he's trying to get me to say something weird. Do you know about the fight where O'Malley called back of the head shots while getting ground and pounded and said he had a concussion and got a DQ win, not in the UFC. No, I've never heard of that. Is it kind of messed up to Dariush if Volk skips him since the title, unlike Chandler, Justin, and other Dariush is actually willing to fight up and coming contenders? Kind of, but I guess life ain't fair. You know, I won't be too happy about it. Is Zuck going to stay affiliated with the UFC or no? Hopefully not. The UFC going to have to put a gun to Gaethje's head to take the Fiziev fight. It's ridiculous. He says he wants the winner of Chandler Dustin. Dude, fight Fiziev. That's the fight everyone wants. I agree. It makes it tough for Islam. Yeah, to close the distance. That's what matters here. If Islam can close the distance without getting chinned, I think he can take Oliveira down and beat him up and win the fight. So that's massive. Massive. Fiziev versus Sarukian, who you got, Joe? I would take Fiziev. I'm high on Fiziev. I think Fiziev beats everyone. The worst matchup for Fiziev is probably Islam Makhachev, to be honest. But I like Fiziev versus most people. Who's your final pick for Charles Islam? Full breakdown and prediction on the channel, but I'm going Charles Oliveira first round TKO. Counting down the hours until Sugar Sean O'Malley puts Petr in a coma. He's going to wake up. Okay, you said that yesterday. 3 inches nullified when Dagestani Sambo Master is glued to you. Yeah, you would know all about that 3 inches, King James. Usman Nurmagomedov versus AJ McKee. Who wins? I'll take Nurmagomedov, but I'm very high on Nurmagomedov. The winner of Dariush versus Gamrot deserves a title shot, and Volk should definitely be fighting Emmett. How can he say he wants to stay active yet Emmett wants to fight him? He's waiting. I think he's. I think that he kind of wants to go for the second title, and fair enough to him. He's fought everyone the UFC's asked. There's not necessarily a concrete number one contender. Emmett lost his last fight, basically. Lost his last two, in my opinion. So there's not a clear number one contender, and he's done a lot of work at featherweight. If anyone deserves it, it's him. What's up, Joey? Who should the main event for the next Korean card as much as any might come? I have no idea what all the cards are coming up. The Korea card, they'll probably do Korean Zombie, but I don't know. I don't necessarily think Korean Zombie should be headlining any card at this point. There's probably someone else I'm not thinking of. Why am I the only one that think Justin can beat Fiziev if he utilizes the leg kicks? Fiziev will check those leg kicks. Fiziev is an elite level striker. Fiziev is literally one of the worst possible matchups for a striking based fighter to fight against Justin Gaethje. Fiziev will check the kicks. Fiziev is more defensively responsible. Fiziev has more variety of attacks. Fiziev has great head movement. Fiziev has good power. I mean, Fiziev is a nightmare matchup, but it would be a hell of a fight. I think either guy could win, but you guys know I'm super high on Fiziev. One thing that worries me is Charles' cardio, especially if he's forced to grapple for 3 or 4 rounds. I met Sam Alvey at my school today. That's pretty cool. Are you high on Shavkat McKinney and just for fun, Patty? I'm very high on Shavkat. I am mildly high on Terrence McKinney, and I am low on Paddy Pimblett. Do you think Beneil's getting mistreated in the UFC? I don't think he's getting mistreated, but life isn't fair. You high on Bo Nickel, a.k.a. Bo Pickle? No, I am not high on Bo Pickle. Do you think the UFC stripping Charles was unfair? They have to let others slide on missing weight. I don't know. I guess their hands were tied. What are they going to do? Let him keep the title? But it sucks. It just does suck. Can't wait till November. UFC. It's only 3 weeks from this Saturday. So that's what's crazy. It's right around the corner. MMA Joey Army stand up. Appreciate you. It's fight week. Projection. Okay. Anyone else frustrated? Chandler plans to get a title shot if he keeps fighting guys coming off losses. Yeah, I mean, I think he's got to string together a few wins if he wants to get a title shot. But you never know with the UFC and Michael Chandler with the Dana White privilege and all. I mean, I feel horrible, but anyone beating Tony Ferguson at this point, it's aged horribly. It has aged horribly. And it's not, you know, I was a believer in Tony Ferguson. Okay, I didn't think he was as washed up as people were making him out to be. And, you know, it's hard to not think that after what happened to him in the fight against Nate Diaz, but it was short notice. There was a lot of contributing factors to that. But it's just hard to make you not feel like, geez, Tony's done, and now Chandler's best win is against Tony, and it's one of those things. Hey Joey, I pick Oliveira over Islam. Fair enough, Bernie. Joey, thoughts on Dana White saying Volk is next for the lightweight title? I think he just said it makes sense. I think a lot of people are running with it too much. It may not even happen. I don't put much thought into it. If Charles wasn't stripped, then Gaethje would have been able to wouldn't have been able to become champion if he won. I mean, the UFC can do whatever they want with the belt, okay? Ally Quinta missed weight by like 0.2 pounds in the fight against Khabib Nurmagomedov, and Dana White said if Ally Quinta wins, we will wrap the belt around him. What's the commission going to say? You're not allowed to wrap a promotional belt around him? No. Joe, you think Khabib is top 10 fighters of all time? Tyron Woodley doesn't seem to think so. I don't give a shit what Tyron Woodley thinks. But I don't know. I had to think about it, probably. Which is more likely to happen, Charles missing weight or Islam missing weight this Friday, you mean? Because they weigh in on Friday? I'm going to say neither. There's both 0% chance. Who do you got for the November 12th card? I'm leaning Izzy. And I think Poirier gets it done. I'm pretty confident in Poirier to get it done. Chandler's few wins for a title shot is going to be a fight with Poirier and a rematch with Gaethje. Yeah, I don't think he beats Gaethje in a rematch either. That fight with Diaz and Tony was atrocious. Yeah, they both looked like shells of them former selves. I mean, they both looked awful. I don't think either one of them looked particularly good, honestly. It's actually sad. In Canada, you don't have to make weight. GSP versus Diaz, Ragdoll and Al versus Khabib. Al came in a pound over and still got the shot. I guess so. Jorge has turned into a very unlikable person. Yeah, Jorge's always, now he's constantly begging for title shots and whatnot that he doesn't deserve, and it's actually super annoying. Yeah, it is what it is, though. It is what it is. Where am I at here? Fazeev, Gamrot, Sarukian, Ismagulov, Kutaladze get no love. They may be the best contenders. They're all fighting each other, yet the top 5 aren't prepared to fight them for a title shot. I know, it's super annoying. Olives has missed weight 7 times, most of them at 45. What's up, JJ? Joe, will you forgive Charles if he misses weight again? No, I will not. Chandler got the Dana White privilege. Somehow gets the fight against top 5 every time he fights. You watch fighter interviews or no? Very few. I don't watch very many of them. If Izzy wins another boring decision, do you think the UFC will give up on him being the next star? I don't think they care. I don't think they care that much if he's the next big star or not. I think he's already very popular. I think a lot of people already want to see him lose, whether they like him or not. He's popular. And I think it will continue to headline pay-per-views. I mean, at one point in time, nobody liked Anderson Silva, believe it or not. Or people were like down on him. So, I mean, Izzy's like too big. I mean, if Izzy goes out there and KOs Pereira somehow, and then KOs the next, opponent, everyone will be back on his side again. How many fights would you say you watch on a day on average? I don't know. I have no idea. I usually watch a bunch in one day, and then I don't watch any. So, it'd be a wonky average. Tony's style was never going to age well. Very true. Plus, that beating Gaethje can change older fighters forever. I agree. Who do you have for the Aljamain Sterling TJ Dillashaw fight? I have a full breakdown and prediction on the channel, which I encourage you to go check out. But I have TJ Dillashaw. You high on Gamrot? I'm fairly high on Gamrot. I think he beats Beneil Dariush. Imagine Islam misses weight and Khabib somehow steps in. Impossible would it be crazy? Yeah, Khabib ain't making weight. Have you seen him lately? Dude must be 200 pounds at this point. So he doesn't got to cut weight anymore. Why would he be on weight? He probably walks around about 200, I would guess. If Pereira beats Izzy, will he be a GOAT at middleweight? Because no, he will not. He'll get beat by Marvin Vettori. Okay, read that. Israel's losing his popularity. I live in New Zealand and big fans of his really didn't like his last 2 fights. Yeah, but one finish and they'll all be back on board. And people still want to see him lose. So even if he's not popular in a good way, he's popular in a bad way. Same TJ4847. Do you think Izzy was mismarketed as a KO artist after his KO over Whitaker and Costa? No, I don't think so. Is Benil Dariush a gatekeeper at lightweight? He's not right now, but he may end up being. Imagine both Charles and Islam miss weight, and we get a main event of Islam versus Charles without a belt on the line. That would be weird as hell. Out of all Tony's losses, which did he take the most brain damage? Chandler or Gaethje? Probably Gaethje. Joey, any fighter ever reach out on Twitter or get mad at you because you went against them? No. Most confident 280 pick? Probably Petr Yan. I don't see Israel finish Pereira. I doubt it as well, but still. Sad thing is, Izzy has all the tools to be an exciting fighter, but chooses not to. I mean, he's getting a paycheck. He's out there getting a paycheck. I don't blame him. You know, he can get wins. He can get wins and get a paycheck without taking any brain damage. I'd be doing the same thing, unfortunately. It doesn't make us fans, but Khabib is big. If Islam and Oliveira don't happen, what if it's Khamzat versus Costa? I don't know why I had trouble reading that. If Islam Oliveira don't happen, what if it's Khamzat versus Costa? That doesn't even make sense. Have you ever talked UFC at work and do you correct them when they are wrong? I just have to hold my tongue every time their takes are hard to listen to. Very rarely. There's been an occasional time, but not much. And usually they don't know shit. They're just talking about like super casual fights. Which UFC fighters on the active rosters do you have the best shot against? I don't know, dude. Probably none. Aljo. I don't even know what that means. Aljo changes against TJ. You high on Mavsar? I am very high on Mavsar. Okay. It doesn't really matter to me. But I appreciate your support, Jackson. Thank you. I low-key hate the Esparza versus Zhang got booked. Zhang will win. Rose has 2 wins over her, so Rose will get a title shot, but no, Carla beat her twice. Messed up division, give Marina the title shot. Now, I want to see Zhang just beat the living shit out of Carla Esparza. That's what I want to see. So, that's what I would like to see. Are you high? No, I'm not high. I could beat up Mike Jackson, the worst fighter in the UFC. I'm sure you could. We all could, right? Favorite fight on 280? Main event for sure. Absolutely, positively the main event. It's an incredible main event. I mean, Oliveira versus Makhachev, I've been looking forward to for a long time. I mean, it's just so compelling. I mean, I broke it down in the video, but there's so many reasons to watch this main event. I would lose to all current fighters. Is he just doing what people do to stay on top? GSP and DJ. Yeah, I guess so. I could probably KO Tony Ferguson, Lamau. I doubt it. Joey, if Charles wins and keeps his belt, then Conor returns fight might be for the title. So does that kind of make you want to see him lose? Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see Conor fight return for the belt. I'm betting 500 on O'Malley beating Yan. Well, goodbye to the 500. You high on crack? Yeah, I smoke crack all the time. I can beat Rose. All I have to do is move in a circular motion for 5 rounds. Yeah, very true. Very true. I could probably be, I mean, he's not a UFC fighter anymore, but I think I could take out Bigfoot Silva for sure. I mean, literally just flick him on the chin and he's gone. Guys, do me a favor if you haven't already, like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it if you like the stream. We got almost 70 people in here. We got 29 likes on the stream. You like it, YouTube pushes it out to more and more people. And that's how we grow the channel. So Run up the likes on the stream. It takes 1 second. And if you're watching right now, I do these streams all the time. So you might as well subscribe to the channel. And turn on notifications too, so you don't miss the notifications for these streams, which I'm going to be doing all week. I'm going to be doing constantly all week. We currently have 5,427 subscribers. So I don't remember how much we had yesterday, but I think that's a significant uptick. I'm pretty sure. We might have hit 5,400 today. So we probably gained over 50, 60 subscribers today, I would guess. But I'm not 100% sure. So appreciate every single one of you. Be one of the first 10,000 to subscribe. I mean, can you imagine a better honor to be bestowed upon you? Olives, okay. Patty versus CM Punk, no. Dana confirmed Volk the next title shot. I mean, I think they're twisting his words a little bit. He just said it makes sense. Aljo's chances against TJ, I think, I'll say 30%. How much money is front row seats for 280? No idea. Olives has a chance, but I got Islam by third round smash. Could happen. Joey, do you mind if I asked your prediction at the time for 229? Did you think Conor had a chance? No. I actually predicted that fight to a T. I predicted fourth round rear naked choke. And I thought that basically Khabib was going to take him down, smash him. But Conor was, serviceable enough to be able to survive. And then eventually he was going to wear down because he has a cardio issue. And he was going to continue to get smashed by Khabib, and then eventually Khabib would get a rear naked choke, which technically isn't true because he got a neck crank. So technically I did not predict it to a T, if we're being technical there. So I wish I mean, you guys can think what you want. I know it sounds, oh, yeah, he predicted it perfectly. But that's my take. I was very, very confident that Khabib was going to win. Does Dana love Conor as much as his kids? Probably not. Volk can't get an instant chance. He needs to prove himself a lightweight. I don't know if he needs to prove himself. I see another rear naked choke for Charles Oliveira. That'd be nuts. Could you imagine? Did Carla versus Rose 2 kill the division? I haven't heard anything about Carla after she became champion. No, it'll be the division will be talked about again after Carla spars. It just gets molly-whopped by Weili Zhang. Do you think Yan actually gets a title shot if he beats Sugar? He better. I think he should. I mean, why not? He took a dangerous fight against unranked guy. And why not give him a shot if he wins? You're going to give O'Malley a shot if he wins. So, did Carla read that. I DM Rose and told her you have to use combat sports and combat sports, and she was shocked. Yeah, I bet she was after that last fight. Do you think Yan actually you already read that? Can I be a mod at 10K? I don't know. Is Jean really that good? From what I've heard, O'Malley's very confident. O'Malley's, of course, he's going to be confident. But why I'm betting on him, he said he's going to beat him, so I don't know, though. That's a dumb reasoning. O'Malley can definitely beat him, but he's going to have to KO him. And nobody's KO'd Petr Yan yet, so I don't think it's going to happen. Let me look that up real quick. I don't think Petr Yan's ever been finished. Let me take a look just in case I'm speaking incorrectly. Yeah, he's never been finished. So now O'Malley's going to go out there and finish him? Don't think so. Very, very doubtful. Very, very doubtful. Seeing how well Aljo performed against Yan in the second fight, the fact he was able to get to the back of Yan, don't you think he can do it with TJ too? I think it's possible, but I think the Yan fight, I'm more confident in Yan to beat Aljo in a trilogy than I was in Yan beating him in a rematch, because essentially you can narrow down the Yan Sterling fight to two 5-second scrambles. And without those scrambles, where I think Yan was just overconfident and gave his back because he didn't think that Aljo would snatch it so quickly, and then if he did snatch it, he'd be able to hang on to it so dominantly. Without those, Aljo had nothing in that fight. And I know that's a big if, but Aljo doesn't even have the... People think Aljo has this like world-class wrestling. No, Aljo has great grappling and great jiu-jitsu and great, top game. He doesn't have great wrestling. TJ has good wrestling defense. So I just find it hard to believe. And also TJ has, and I forgot to mention this in my video, TJ has a very high fight IQ. Him and Dwayne Bang Ludwig are preparing and watching tape and studying Aljamain Sterling, and I think they know everything he's going to do. And basically, you know, when your one trick is you got to get a guy's back, I mean, I just find it hard to believe he's going to be able to consistently win fights at a high level, at championship level, with that necessary game plan. You know, he can win them other ways, and the other ways are he can win with his striking, but only if his opponent is worried about the takedown. And I think once TJ shucks off a couple of these takedowns, he's going to open up. And I think the striking of Aljo is going to look even more horrendous because TJ's not worried about the takedown. TJ has good footwork already, and he naturally carries his hands low, so he's already in a position to dig the underhooks and defend the takedowns. So he's not going to be super worried about the takedowns, and then, therefore, the striking of Aljamain Sterling is going to be very ineffective, in my opinion. I believe you, Joey, since it always seems like you're pretty low on Conor and seems to always pick against him. I actually picked Conor against Dustin Poirier in the second fight. Not the one where he broke his leg, but the one before that. I picked Conor to beat Dustin. What is Conor's best win? The Eddie Alvarez one. If Tony versus Conor happens, who are you picking? Conor. Do you know a fighter that CM Punk can beat? No, definitely not. Who's your favorite trash talker? I don't know. I had to think about that. I'm not mad at Carla. I want to see Rose get whooped. Yeah, I want to see Rose and Carla both get whooped. What are you going to do if Pat Barry starts training Weili? I don't know. Do you think Dustin would be a champ? No. I do not think he'd be undisputed champ at any point. You think Yan kind of had an invincibility Aurora before the second Aljo fight? Yes, and I think he underestimated Aljo vastly after the first fight. He thought he had it in the bag, and Aljo was more motivated than ever, and it got pushed back a full year, and then Aljo had all that extra time. It was supposed to happen in like September, and then it was supposed to happen in October, and then it was supposed to happen in December, or something along those lines. I can't remember. That fight got rescheduled multiple times. Does Sugar Sean ever fight Chito Vera again? Yes. It's just too compelling not to book it again. Do you think O'Malley's the fastest bantamweight in the first round? No. No. I think Song Yadong's faster. Who has faster kicks, Barboza or Sean? At this point, probably Sean. But prime Barboza. I think Petr Yan has never been finished. He doesn't have a good chance to KO him, but maybe if he full teed, he can go for a decision winner with Petr if he doesn't get hit with big shots. Yeah, I think Piotr's just going to get those reads and just destroy him. Joe, were you ever a fan of Conor, or did the constant threats to family member turn you off? I was a huge fan of Conor in the early days. When Conor first came into the UFC. So I was a huge fan of Conor. But then he started changing. When he got really popular, his just whole personality started to change. And he just started to come off as a dick. And that's when I kind of was like, I don't really like this guy. Where was I at? I lost my spot. Keep the questions coming, guys. I'm trying to catch up to chat right now. I'm trying to catch up. What is Piotr's cardio compared to Sean? I don't know. We don't know what Sean's cardio looks like. We know when he's pressured for 3 rounds, he starts to get a little bit tired, but it seems like he has good cardio. I mean, the high output in the Chris Montino fight, of course he's going to be tired in the 3rd round. So I think Sean has good cardio, but Piotr's been a hard 5 rounds multiple times with crazy outputs. Petr Yan has unreal cardio. JJ Aljo via 5-second armbar. Okay. How good is Chandler's wrestling? Is it the best way for him to win against Dustin? It's good, but he's not going to use it offensively ever. Any thoughts on Tim Welsh as Sean's coach? I think it's going to be one of those situations where Sean loses a bunch of fights and everyone starts turning on Tim Welch, and then Sean goes to a different camp. And there's like a big falling out. That would be my guess of the future. Maybe a year, maybe 3 years from now. Is Sean going to try to keep Petr at range and go for a decision, or is he going to try to? He's going to try to KO Petr with a straight right down right in between the guard. Is virtual reality? No, it's garbage. In my opinion. Does you heard that guy? Okay, does Petr outgrapple Sean easily? I believe so. Do you think TJ would be considered bantamweight GOAT so far if he secures that belt for a third time? Probably, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So, I'm not a big fan of that because he's injecting EPO into his ass cheeks. Literally right into his ass cheeks. Right into them cheeks, TJ's injecting. Yes, Chandler can def out Russell Dustin, but he won't. He'll stand and bang, of course. Before the Chandler fight, who would you have picked between Conor and Tony? I'd have picked Tony. I picked Tony to beat up Chandler. How do you see CM Punk versus Mike Jackson going? We've already seen it. That's what Mike Jackson was signed to the UFC for. If Dana doesn't pay Oliveira pay-per-view points, is that wrong? Yes, but he said he's going to, but who knows what's actually going to happen. How high are you on O'Malley? I mean, I think he's a promising prospect, but there's too many unknowns. There's far too many unknowns at this point in time. The best fight of McGregor is when he bounced Dustin's head off the canvas like a basketball. Yeah, but Dustin was nowhere near and close to his prime at that point. He was good, but not close to his prime. The best fight of McGregor's, okay, read that. Sean got the best cardio. Okay, whatever. Conor's rise was the most entertaining ever. Guy was predicting his fights correctly and getting in everyone's head was great to watch. Sure, whatever. Guy who wins fights says he was going to knock out his opponent. I mean, isn't everyone saying that every fight? O'Malley has finished all the fights in later rounds besides Chito Vera. That's his only... Yeah, that's not a fluke, but okay. Who you want to win, Dustin or Chandler? I mean, I like both guys. I want to see both guys succeed. Both guys are exciting fighters. But probably Dustin. I like Dustin a little bit more. Is Sean surrounded by yes men? It sure seems like it. I don't know everyone that Sean is surrounded by, but it seems like it very, very much so that he is surrounded by yes man. So the answer to your question, probably yes. You guys don't realize talking for long periods of time, it's already 52 minutes into the stream. It makes you thirsty as hell. There is a very negative opinion. Okay, Tim Welsh and Sean O'Malley, but if things go south, that's a possibility. Yeah, it'll end up being like a Ronda Rousey, Edmund Tarvarian relationship in the future. Is the beef between Chandler and Poirier real or staged? There is no beef. They're just saying dumb, passive-aggressive shit towards each other. The pick of TJ makes him look so weird now. I don't know which pick you're talking about. O'Malley hasn't beat anyone in the top 10. Yes. Was Conor's win over Dustin a fluke? No. Oh, yeah, I thought that fight happened, but I don't know what you're talking about. Did you predict Conor to beat Dustin their first fight? That was all the way back at UFC 178. I believe that was in September of 2013. I think I picked Dustin, but I don't remember, to be honest. I can't remember who I picked. I may have picked Conor, but I don't know. I don't remember. I'm trying to think. I can't remember that one. I mean, that was a big fight at the time, but that was still like Conor's come up, so I don't remember who I thought would win going in. But I say maybe 60% Dustin, 40% Conor, I thought maybe, something like that. But I'm just guessing at that point. Shavkat versus Edwards, who wins? I'm going Shavkat. I'm a big believer in Shavkat Rachmanov. I mean, how can you not believe in Shavkat? He's looked so impressive. I'm scared for Sean. I wouldn't be scared for him. I'm sure he'll be all right, but he's gonna get finished and then spin some narrative. If Makhachev wins and moves to 170, him and Khamzat would be a banger. If that happens, who do you got? If Makhachev wins and moves to 170, I would pick Khamzat easily. I think Khamzat finishes him for sure. Too big. Massive size advantage for Khamzat Chimaev. Whenever Sean wins a fight, Steve will do it, gives him a 50K chain. Yeah, I mean, he fits right in with those guys. Tim isn't a yes man, he's his best friend, but yeah, that leads you to be a little bit delusional when you're thinking about, how you're how is he going to perform? Sean brings in the most toxic fans. Nelk, I can't stand them. There you go. Yeah, I mean, I think his fans are just like 16-year-old boys for the most part. For the most part, that's what it seems like it is. This Friday, I will be streaming one championship, and I'll also be doing a UFC 280 pre-fight stream. I'm not sure of the exact timing yet because I'm going to do them two different separate streams. So I'll probably be like streaming for four or so hours on Friday night, something along those lines. I was asking about if Sean was surrounded by yes men because I was wondering what coaches was telling him about the Tito fight and his reaction to the loss. I mean, he's partially trolling on that, but yeah, I mean, I think they really believe that it was kind of a fluke, but he's partially trolling in a way. Are you streaming 280? Yes, I'm like 95% sure I'm streaming 280. So join me on Saturday for the UFC 280 stream. Will you hop on the Sugar Express if he knocks out Yan? Probably. Is Leon Edwards' win over Usman a fluke? It's not a fluke, but it's percentagely unlikely, if that's even a word. Wait, I forgot. Did you have Charles Oliveira or I've never picked against Oliveira, so there you go. Who's a better wrestler, Hamzat or Islam? I'll say Hamzat. Everyone said Leon got lucky, but I feel he trained the kick, so it's not like, yeah, it's one of those weird, it's kind of weird. It's a weird situation. Islam and Hamzat would never happen. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Do you like the Nelk boys? I don't like or dislike them. I really don't pay attention to them, to be quite honest. It's just a method of promotion via the UFC to try to promote to 15 to 20-year-old men / boys. I don't really pay attention to them, to be honest. So I can't really give an informed opinion about it, to be quite honest. Unlikely to happen again, but Leon's kick was not luck. I think that's accurate. That's an accurate statement. I picked Oliveira in every recent fight except for Tony and Gaethje, and I underestimated their IQ. I am very confident in Islam here. Fair enough. I picked Oliveira against Tony and Gaethje and Poirier and Chandler, and I have most of those with evidence on the channel. I've been a big believer in Charles Oliveira for many, many years. For many, many years. I've been rocking out with him for many years. So, and if you go back and watch, a video from the beginning of the channel, I will talk about it in that very video a year and a half ago. I've been a big believer in Charles Oliveira for many years, guys. I've been a big believer in him. He gets better every time out. That's literally, you could do a soundboard of me saying Oliveira gets better every single time out. And that's a staple of a future contender or a future champion. So, Nelk used to be funny back in the day when they were broke pranksters. Now, not so much. Okay. I can see Charles being pushed towards the fence while trying to defend a takedown. Islam gets a takedown or a trip in the clinch. This will probably happen, but do you see it going for the entire fight? I don't know. I think Oliveira will be able to escape some of the early clinch attempts with knees to the body and then circling out. So it's hard to say. I've had a decent read on him except for the Tony fight. Was close to how I thought it'd go. Okay. Loki uses Nelk Boys as their main form of marketing. Their fan base is 5 million subscribers, and they have Steve. Yeah. I mean, they're just using it to market, so it is what it is. Could Usman have won if he would have stayed a little safer in the 5th round? For sure. Did you pick Zombie or Yair? I believe I picked Zombie. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I picked Korean Zombie. I'm like 90% sure, but that's getting back there as well. I mean, what's that, back in 2018, 17 maybe? What is the best organization outside of the UFC? It's tough to say. PFL's trash. Bellator's okay. One Championship. I haven't watched a lot of One Championship because of their weird air times, but they've recently started airing in prime time for East Coast people who live in the Eastern time zone, and their events literally look like every fighter on the card's family is being held hostage. And look, if you don't have an exciting fight, we're going to kill your entire family. So I'd probably say one is the second best. But apparently they're bleeding a lot of money. Should TKZ retire? Yes. Charles has lost before. Thank you, Captain Obvious. I bought Sugar Sean's 500 Bong collab. I hope he don't get KO'd. That's embarrassing. I would not admit that in any public domain. UFC 182. You asking me what that is? I believe that is... Yeah, I know what that one is. That's Jones DC. I just at you with a weird picture of TJ. Okay, let's go take a look. Yeah, I mean, I think any picture like this, I mean, this is like a terrible picture exposed, and I don't think you can read too much in it, but he looks old as shit, but that's highly zoomed in. So I can't make too much of it. But that definitely, he does look weird there. He does look very strange. Now I just dropped my water bottle, but it's empty, so it doesn't matter. All right, guys, do me a favor and like the stream. We've gone for 1 hour. We've gone for 1 hour. Run up the likes on the stream. Maybe we'll get 100 people in here before we go. That's like the new bar for the streams. 100 people in the stream. So, one championship is very good. Yes, I'll be streaming it this Friday. It's been pretty good. The few events that I've watched have been very good. Does PFL just take the UFC sloppy seconds? It seems like it. PFL is the worst. I'd rather watch Invicta FC over PFL. Yeah, dude. PFL's pacing is garbage. Good night, Iceman. Joey, you notice how Habib turned out to be a trash talk expert? Actually, it find it sus to make his boy under pressure weird. I don't know, man. I don't know if he thinks he's talking trash. I really do believe he's just answering questions honestly, and then the language barrier just makes it sound worse than it is. One has some of the best strikers. You think if Oliveira beat Felder, he would be the Du Bronx we appreciate today? Probably. And Islam will win. Okay. Is Michael Chandler as good as you thought because of his win over Tony Ferguson didn't age well? Yeah, I think Michael Chandler's about where I thought he was. I mean, he was very good in Bellator, but he took a lot of damage over the course of his Bellator career. But those wars with Eddie Alvarez were insane and super high level. Chandler's a guy that I thought would probably never leave Bellator. So he came over to the UFC at kind of an older age for the lightweight division especially. So Chandler's about where I expected Chandler to be, if that makes sense. Oliveira has been the same guy since the Kevin Lee fight, and I don't think he's been the same guy. He's been rapidly improving. Should Patty go to PFL? UFC will not let that happen. You can go to the grocery. You can go grocery shop in between PFL fights. Yeah, you can go to the dentist in between PFL fights, to be quite honest. Is Oliveira getting KO'd or submitted? Neither. Was Tony Ferguson this bad throughout his career and we never saw him against good competition? No. He was not this bad. He's actively regressed. Actively regressed. But as far as the Beneil Dariush and Tony Ferguson fights, he was always that bad. Because he's always had issues with people who have offensive wrestling. That's why I don't care that we never saw Tony versus Habib. Because he's always had issues with grapplers. He got out-grappled for 3 rounds against Danny Castillo back at UFC 177. Okay? So he would have got smashed by Habib. I knew he was going to lose to Tony. He was going to lose to Charles Oliveira. I knew he was going to. No, I did not. I thought he was going to beat Beneil. I didn't think Beneil's grappling was that good, but it's better than I expected. And I picked him to lose to Justin Gaethje just because I knew Justin Gaethje had decent enough defensive striking. He was being more measured in his attacks recently, and he had nasty power. And Tony was very, very hittable. So I picked Gaethje in that fight. If you look at Tony's resume, let me look at Tony's resume real quick. I'll tell you what fights I picked him and picked against him in. Let's see what I was right in. So, the Dos Anjos win was solid. I don't remember if I picked him in the Dos Anjos win. I picked him against Kevin Lee. I picked him against Anthony Pettis. I picked him against Donald Cowboy Cerrone. I picked Gaethje to beat him. I picked Oliveira to beat him. I picked him to beat Dariush, which I was wrong. I picked him in his last 3 fights, and he lost all 3 of them. So I picked him against Beneil Dariush, I picked him against Chandler, and I picked him against Diaz. All terrible picks, apparently. All atrocious, atrocious picks. But Tony was good. I mean, he fought good competition. Kevin Lee at the time was pretty solid. Dos Anjos was a really good win back in 2016. Lando Venata, he almost lost to Lando Venata. The Edson Barboza win was good. The Josh Thompson win was good. The Gleison Tibau win was good. So, Tony had some good success, but he's always been limited in the fact that he's super reckless on the feet, and he never had good takedown defense ever, 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 ever. I mean, and even as far as his striking defense issue, go back and watch that Lando Venata fight back in July of 2016. He was supposed to fight someone else. Lando Venata stepped in on short notice and almost finished Tony Ferguson multiple times in the first round. So Tony's kind of been the same Tony for the past few years, but now he's just regressed where he's just a slower, less active, less pressure fighter. He's regressed terribly. You can just see, he moves so slow. I know the Nate Diaz fight he took on short notice, but I don't know. I can't talk about it anymore. It's actually super depressing. Tony was one of my favorite fighters to watch. Guys, do me a favor and like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, I do these streams all the time. I'm going to be doing a bunch this week. So go subscribe to the channel. One thing is, I can see why Islam and Khabib might be mad with Charles for trying to fight with Conor or Diaz. Yeah, but at the end of the day, he took the fight, so who cares? Thoughts on UFC fight nights and pay-per-view coming up? 280, Cater Allen. 280, love it. Cater Allen, love it. Mitchell Ilya, apparently not happening, but love it. 281, solid. Lewis Spivak, is that the main event? Ooh. Orlando, ooh. 282, solid. Cannonier Strickland, solid. UFC's killing it, in my opinion. I think they're doing a solid job of it. Oliveira was better in Dustin fight than Gaethje, even though he finished quicker. Oliveira was better in Dustin fight than Gaethje, even though he finished quicker. Maybe so. Has Bellator fallen off? Seems to be losing relevancy. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. Let's see. My chat just jumped all the way to the bottom. I really hope that Bryce Mitchell-Ilya Topuria fight happens, though. I really want to see that one. But I wanted to see him versus Movsar as well. What round would Khabib have best Tony Ferguson? And he would have finished him probably in the second round. I'm going to go watch your prediction videos. Peace out. John, make sure you comment on them and like them as well. I greatly appreciate it. Enjoy them. The main event video, let me go see how many views that's got at this point. The main event video is doing very, very, very well at this point. Yeah, it's creeping up on 2,500 views, and it's trending as #1 in my last 10 videos. So it's trending very, very well. If you guys haven't watched that, make sure to go watch that after the stream. I got a full breakdown and prediction for Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev. Let me go back here. Click there. Let me X out some of these tabs real quick. Keep the questions coming, guys. I'll get to them in a second. But yeah, this is going to be a big week. This is a big week for UFC fans. This is a big week for the channel. I'm super excited. What is Conor's best performance in his career? Eddie Alvarez. Oliveira almost lost to Chandler and Justin. If Islam gets slightest like previous Oliveira history, he is a goner. Okay. Who wins, Gaethje or Conor? I'd take Gaethje, but it'd be compelling. Prime Tony would have sliced up Khabib's face and break him. Absolutely not. Thoughts on people saying Khabib ducked Cowboy and Tony? That's a joke. He would have murked both of them. I don't know why everyone says Prime Tony could beat Khabib. They are clowns. He wouldn't have beaten him at all. Gleison Tibau's always looked 50 years old. I would agree. That's a fair assessment. Charles has a top Iranian wrestler that was exposed to Dagestani wrestling as he lived there for a while. While Islam is training with Nurmagomedov family, is Charles more prepared? It's hard to say. Who wins, Masvidal or Leon? Leon probably... I'll say Leon by decision. Tony can do the Michael John. I don't want to see Tony fight anymore, to be quite honest. I would not like to even see him fight. Didn't UFC force Charles to take a fight with Islam by threatening to give up his shot to Chandler? No, I doubt it. I doubt it. I don't think so. Let's see. Okay. That's nothing important. Are you talking about Khabib on the bus? Nah, I don't think so, man. That's just a bullshit line from Conor trying to spin the narrative. Dude, if you think he was scared at all, he's scared of, some guy throwing, moving equipment outside the bus. What a joke that is. My leg is itching. He started to regress since the Pettis fight. Tony had 65% striking defense back in his prime. Maybe around that time. It's hard to pinpoint it because I didn't think he was that bad. He was just getting out grappled. I didn't think he was that bad. He was just getting out grappled by better grapplers. And that's why I picked him against Chandler. Tony's style revolved around the athleticism, and he wasn't the same, yeah. Bryce Mitchell would smoke hand sanitizer boy. I don't know. People think Ilya's like some type of just striker. Ilya's amazing grappler and has amazing jiu-jitsu and submission threats. Joey, why'd you call me Mr. Joey? Mr. Joey, do you not think it's not fishy that 12 O'Malley's fighting 1 Yan? No, I do not. People be talking about Sean versus Yan, but hot take, Cheeto becomes champ. We will see. Apparently, Charles has perfect vision now. Oh, 20/20 vision, Charles Oliveira, a new mythical MMA fighter. Who wins Dariush versus Makhachev, and how does the fight end? I'd probably say Makhachev, and probably by decision. How would Tony versus Holloway at 155 go? At this point, Holloway would just beat him up badly. I really hope Olive shuts... Oh, hold on. I really hope Olive shuts these Islam worshippers up. Worst fan base. Okay. Did anyone see the video of Makhachev walking right next to Oliveira today? Be honest. Dude, nobody... That was the dumbest video. That shit is so annoying. Why are people even reposting that? It was literally nothing. It was literally absolutely nothing. And people were reposting that around like it was super cool or something. It was garbage. It was absolute garbage. Nothing happened. It was completely irrelevant. So, but yes, I saw it because it got shared by everyone. Like it was so cool, and it was literally nothing. What was the first fight Tony started getting washed? I mean, I don't think he was necessarily washed, but I mean, the Gaethje fight took a lot out of him for sure. Now, Ilya has kind of made grappling. Look at the Zalal fight, but he is young. He has very good grappling. Mr. Joey, why are you saying Mr. Joey? How come people don't seem to understand that Petr starts late? O'Malley has a legit chance to win a 3-rounder. No, he probably wins round 1 without an issue, so only needs to win 1 more. I disagree. I think Petr Yan is just so good. I think Yan is going to show there's levels to this, and I think he's going to start lighting up O'Malley early. But I think as he gets his reads, I think it's going to be more aggressive in that 3rd round because Jan's going to be a little bit worried about the knockout power in the beginning. Do you think UFC wants Sterling to lose? Probably. You need to cheer up a little. It's fight week. I'm pumped. I'm excited. That's why I'm on stream right now. I am super excited for UFC 280. Let's do a poll real quick. Who wins? Let's do it. Charles Oliveira or Islam Makhachev? There you go. Vote in the poll. Vote in the poll. Vote in the poll. Who wins Dan Hooker versus Max Holloway and what round and how? Max probably by late round TKO, something along those lines. If it gets 1.5 rounds, Oliveira has 0% chance. We'll see. I think the longer the fight goes, the more likely it is that Islam wins. So, should Tom Aspinall fight the winner of Tai Sergey? I mean, I think that'd be a fine matchup. You were really okay. When you see Joey's live stream on the front page, you know it's going to be a great night. Love the streams. Thank you, Jack. I greatly appreciate you, Jack. Do you want UFC trivia questions? I mean, you could throw them in there. Maybe I'll read them. Maybe not. Joe, you really think Oliveira will be stuffing Islam's takedowns? I think he'll maintain the distance. I think he'll be prepared, and I think he'll keep Islam at bay. And I think he only has to do it for a few minutes before he lands a nasty straight right or a nasty right hook or, a nasty teep kick to the body on Islam. So he only has to do it for a couple minutes, and that's it. He throws the kitchen sink in the first round like McGregor, but with jiu-jitsu included. There you go. Got working a bit. Just wanted to stop by and show some support. Thank you. Appreciate you, Andrew. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. To be honest, I think Islam wins this matchup. Fair enough. I think the MMA community as a whole is divided on this one. I think they're very divided. And I think that makes for an even more compelling fight. I think it makes for a very compelling fight, to be quite honest. So I'm really looking forward to it. That's that's what makes it so much fun. That's what makes the sport of MMA so entertaining, because we get to sit here and speculate about Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. It's such a fun, amazing matchup. You have Makhachev, who is such a great grappler, has good takedowns, has amazing top game, has amazing jiu-jitsu, and you have Charles Oliveira, who comes out and just wants to put the pressure on you and teep to the body and throw nasty hooks and throw nasty straight rights and teep to the body some more and chop the legs. And then he wants to pull guard, and then he gets hit and he gets dropped and he falls to his back because he doesn't care if you jump in his guard. And then if he clinches up with you, he starts brutalizing you with knees. And that's what makes this fight so compelling, because you have two guys who look unbeatable, and now they are fighting each other in the main event with the highest stakes on the line, the UFC lightweight title. Boom. And I'm really looking forward to it. I think everyone's really looking forward to it. This is the fight card that has got me most excited in the last 3 or 4 years. I have not been this excited for a fight card since probably UFC 229. That's 4 years ago, back in October of 2018. Khabib versus Conor. That's probably the last time I've been this excited for a matchup. And I'm way more excited for this matchup because I just thought I liked the spectacle of Conor versus Khabib, but I didn't think it would be super competitive. Okay, I like the spectacle of that one, and I was super excited. And it was a striker versus grappler matchup. In this matchup, I think it's more competitive, and I think whoever wins, it's going to be a dominant win. So it's going to be very, very fun to see the results. But honestly, my favorite part about all this is the build-up and the anticipation. I mean, you find me someone who's not excited for Oliveira versus Makhachev, and I'll find you someone who I want to punch in the face, you know, or better. I just think I said that wrong. You show me someone who is not excited for Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev, and I'll show you someone that I want to punch in the face. That's how I should have said it. I mean, it's an amazing card. How can you trash that card at all? I mean, even just the main event, I don't even care about anything else. Just serve me the main event. That's all I need. That's all I need. I love it. I love it. I love it. Sign me up. You know, it's so compelling. I've been thinking about it for so long now, and I cannot wait for this main event. Okay, now where was I in the chat? That's the real question. What's the main event for UFC 184? That was in, I believe, February, because 85 was Pettis versus Dos Anjos. 84 was 84 Rousey versus Ngannou. I'm not going to fact check it, so just let me know in the chat. Bilal wins because he's been training with Khabib and is overall better and way more experienced. Now, I think Brady's probably going to take him down and control him against the cage as well. You know, Bilal's going to be hard to take down, but Brady's going to have a lot of control time. I worry about Oliveira's cardio after 3.5 rounds. I think if it goes over 2 rounds, I lean Makhachev like 60-40. How has Islam always been the favorite when it seems like the majority of people are picking Charles? No idea. Personally, there's no doubt that Islam's going to land a couple takedowns, but I don't know where Islam's advances. There's Charles is just so good on the ground. I also have no doubt Charles will stuff a couple. Yeah. I just hope both fighters make weight. Agreed. Has Oliveira ever shown questionable cardio? Yes. In the past, in the Lamas fight, in the Pettis fight, he's gotten tired just constantly rolling for subs. O'Malley wins because it's 3 rounds. No. How crazy would it be if Islam knocks Charles down like everyone else and he gets finished on the ground? That'd be insanity. That'd be straight up insanity. What's up, VT? I'm going to bet Oliveira and then followed by fight doesn't start round 3 plus 100. Fair enough. Now my chat just jumped all the way down. Charles knee plus Islam's face, first round KO. What do you think? I got first round TKO for Charles Oliveira, so I'm right there with you. Joey, what do you? I'm not even. I don't even. That's all like bullshit promotion. I don't really care about it too much. there'll be no real role. It's just like a troll thing, honestly. It's like just bullshit that the UFC is just marketing. Oh yeah, we got this cool guy that's popular. I think it's dumb. That's why I'd never really talk about it, to be honest. I just think that shit's dumb. TJ Sterling, a very tough matchup, but again, TJ not being in the octagon more than 1 year and nearly 4 years is going to cost him. We'll see. We'll see. I'm going with TJ. I like the fight more than Habib versus Tony Connor, not only because of the hype, but the fight itself. Yes, I agree. I'll do a poll in a second and see what everyone else thinks. Not sure why, but a lot of people are respecting Islam Makhachev. I would still buy the pay-per-view if only the main event. That's just how good it is. Agreed. Keep an eye out for Charles' movement forward early. If he shows any sign of hesitancy early, Islam will maul him and dominate him, in my humble opinion. I think Charles will come forward, but I think he'll have a little bit measure to take. But got you. Do you think the reasons why people are hyped for this fight is because Tony Habib never happened? I mean, that could be partially, but I think this is a totally different fight. 184 is correct, Ronda. I guessed that pretty good then. If Lee was able to hold Olives down, Islam's going to do him dirty. That was years ago, dude, but I know what you're saying. So, you know, it's one of those things where I think Charles Oliveira has gotten vastly better, and also the Kevin Lee ended up getting submitted anyway. So the entire card is so good, to be honest. Even Chukagian versus Fury is a nice fight. Bilal versus Brady as well. Lots of meaningful fights rankings wise. Agreed. Agreed 150%. I love the card. I have a feeling Bilal versus Brady is going to be boring. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be. What do you think the pay-per-view sales are going to look like? I don't think they're going to do too well because of the timing. It's a terrible time for East Coast. So they're gonna be sacrificed. I'll say like 500 or 600 maybe, which is still decent. Who should get the title shot in the lightweight division with a winning victory? Beneil or Gamrot? I picked Ngannou, and people gave me shit for not picking undefeated guy, feeling the same way, picking Olives now. Yeah, I picked Ngannou as well. Jake says 700K, maybe. I just think the biggest problem is that Charles is measured too much. He loses his pressure advantage. He's got to attack. Yeah, but he doesn't want to be too over-aggressive. But I think he'll still be very aggressive. So we don't disagree on that. I don't want to see him backing up quite a bit. Just keeping the range. Moving forward. The sec Islam takes a step forward, Charles backs up a little bit. Okay. Team Bilal. Okay. Last time we saw Charles struggling in the wrestling department was his fight against Lee. This is also when Charles got that Iranian wrestler in his team. I find that interesting. Yeah, so we don't even know. We don't know. I mean, he's improved so much since then. That's 2.5 years ago. That's 2.5 years ago. Bilal isn't even that boring. Lots of haters. I don't think he's particularly exciting, but I don't think he's like crazy boring. Last time, read that. Pay-per-views, $850 at best because it's the most a treat for hardcores, not casuals. It's not going to do $850. They're doing it in the middle of the day. That's gonna limit a lot of pay-per-view buys. That's why the government of Abu Dhabi is paying the UFC a significant fee to hold a big event there to make up for the pay-per-views, to be quite honest. Islam is the same height as him with shorter arms. Will the reach really help control him? Which will really help him control him in the clinch. Yeah, but I mean, they're both very good in the clinch. Crazy to think the skill difference from 279 and 280. I know, to go from one of the worst UFC cards of the year to one of the best UFC cards of the year at UFC 280. Do you think Bilal versus Brady is going to be a striking since grappling might cancel each other out? I think it's going to consist of Brady controlling Bilal in the clinch. But I don't think anyone's going to be super dominant, like taking the other down and controlling them, if that's what you're asking. Cut Charles if he misses weight. Shut your mouth. If Islam can get dropped with a jab and Oliveira knock down Gaethje in the first round, I feel safe with a KO bet. Okay. If Bilal wins, we are going to be in for a super corny post-fight interview. I agree. Charles' reach over Islam is going to be nice. Agreed. Yeah, if he struggled against Lee but came out of nowhere with the sub. And that, I mean, we were forgetting that's 3 years ago. That's 3 years ago almost. How do you think the damage Charles has taken throughout his career will affect him? It's going to catch up to him eventually. I said it in my prediction video. It would not shock me if we saw a first round KO for Islam Makhachev. I'm not saying that's super likely, but it would not shock me if Oliveira comes out aggressive, Islam throws a big haymaker punch, because Islam has power. People forget that. Islam has some decent power, and Islam's just the guy to put him to sleep. Because the laws of statistics says it's going to catch up with him. He keeps eating all these shots. He keeps getting hurt. He keeps getting rocked. Eventually, he's going to get put to sleep. How do you think? Okay, read that. The wrestling looked so good against Poirier, who got ragdolled by Eddie Alvarez. There you go. Do you get nervous for fights that you just can't watch and just check Twitter for updates? Absolutely not. I have to watch them. I think Islam will ragdoll Charles. What do you think? I don't think so. I think it's possible as the fight gets into the later rounds, but no. Aljo will backpack CEO of EPO and send him to the gulag. Highly doubtful. Least likely outcome for Islam early KO. Least likely outcome would be Islam early KO or Charles 50-45 dominant ground and pound. The second one. I think Islam could win with an early KO. Would you miss 280 or the birth of your birth of your child? I would miss the birth of my child for sure. Guys who have a chance to prepare for Islam's wrestling have been able to hold him back. Yeah. Brady has horrible stand-up in my opinion. Yeah, but so does Bilal. Bilal has the edge in the stand-up, but I think Brady has the grappling advantage. To be fair, Oliveira has only been knocked down by power punchers in the division. Also, if he gets even stung a little bit, he just falls to his back as a defense mechanism. So there's also that to take into account as well. So there's all that to take into account, guys. There's all that take into account. I looked real fast. Is the card at 9 a.m.? The prelims start at 10 a.m. Eastern unless something's changed. I want Islam to win because he can speak English. I don't care about that one way or another, but okay. Do you think Charles actually gets rocked or do you think he sits down the rest? I think it's half and half. Who's the juiciest underdog this weekend? I don't know who's an underdog, really. But if Charles is an underdog, if TJ's an underdog, I'd take him. So, does Islam really have the power to KO Charles? He just went through 3 of the strongest and most. I think Islam has deceptive power just because you haven't seen it. Missing the birth of your child for 280 would be crazy. No, it wouldn't. He is joking. No, I'm not joking. So if your wife had to pick her or 280, I'd pick 280. Do you enjoy watching Bilal? I mean, he's all right. I don't think he's as bad as people make him out to be. Islam Makhachev is hungry. He's on another level, way above Oliveira. How hungry that Dagestani is, take that into account. Okay, I'll take it into account. Duly noted. D. Monster. Brady and Oliveira will have dominant performances. Sir, you're married? Wouldn't you like to know? The first couple minutes, I bet there will be just feel each other out and not really throwing anything. I think Oliveira is going to come out guns a-blazing, to be honest. I think Bilal easily wins. Brady hasn't shown anything yet and 2 legit wins on his record. I think Brady easily wins, actually. Not easily. I think it's a gritty fight, so no. My fight leaving tomorrow for Abu Dhabi, I'm so hyped. Are you actually going? Are you trolling? I don't blame Joey for missing the birth of his child for 280. Exactly. $10 billion or 280. I got to go 10 billion there. Why does it matter if a fighter? Yeah, I don't care either. All right, guys. Should we go 2 hours? Yes or no? Should we go a 2-hour stream? Because if we're going 2 hours, I got to go pee real quick. But if we're going to go another 10 minutes, I'll just hold it. Should we go 2 hours? Yes or no in the chat? Yes or no in the chat. Let's see. I knew that's what you guys would say. I knew that's what you guys would say. All right, so do me a favor. I'm going to be gone for 2 seconds. I'm going to be gone for 2 seconds. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Run up the likes on the stream. Send about $500 worth of super chats. And I will be right back, guys. I will be right back. All right, guys, I am back pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. Let's see what you guys said while I was gone. So, okay. So let's see. Let's see. Yeah, we are currently sitting at 5,441 subscribers. Appreciate you guys. We're going to pick up a bunch for UFC 280. We've already picked up a bunch for UFC 280, to be quite honest. So, the main event prediction is about to go over 3K in just a couple hours, which is awesome. We're at like 2.6K right now on the main event. The co-main, it seems like nobody cares about the co-main, to be quite honest. Nobody really cares about the co-main, but it's doing all right. It's about to go over 1,000, so I'm happy. All right, let's get back to the chat, guys. Let's see. I'm surprised all you guys hung around while I was gone. You should go for 24 hours, 2 hours, 5 hours. Hold it anyways. Nah. You should do 20. Stream until 280 starts. Could you imagine? You're ours now. Yes. Go put on your Venom gear. Yes. Meanwhile, Joey is gone. Mr. Mason pees in bottles while streaming so he doesn't have to go to the bathroom. Okay. I don't know who that is, but all right. How are you guys doing? I don't think he can fit. Okay. My legs hurt. Are we allowed to mention? I don't know who you're talking about. You just hear in the back. Yeah, there's no way the mic's picking that up. What's up, Billy? How did I miss all these messages? What is going on right now? It's 1 o'clock in the morning and you guys are sending all these messages right now while I was gone at that. And I'm going to take a drink now. I worked up a thirst. Okay, now it just jumped to the bottom. Is that DC crying? Yes, it is. I know this deviates from 280, but who is your GOAT? Mine is GSP. Oh, man, it's probably John Jones, unfortunate. So much money to be made on prelims alone. Okay. That was a little too quick. Wrote it in Marshall's hands, but the bathroom is literally right outside the door. So, where I'm at right here, this is my office. On this side's my spare bedroom. And then there's like a hallway right here when you walk out the door. And as soon as you make a left, you're basically in the bathroom. So you make a left, and then there's another hallway this way that goes to my bedroom. And so basically, I'm literally almost in the bathroom as I sit right here, basically, is what I'm saying. So, USADA, I don't know why I couldn't say the letters. USADA came by to test you. Yes. You're the best MMA streamer. Thank you. I appreciate your kind words. I kind of hope DC doesn't commentate. He's commentating. So, I actually thought I was gone for a long while, to be honest. It felt a lot longer. I felt like I was gone forever. I just could not stop pissing. I was pissing for like 40 seconds, it felt like. Joey, start a stream on Friday, do a sleep stream, and then watch a long stream. I wonder if I had put my camera just aimed at my bed and just slept on Friday, like after I do my pre-fight stream, how many people would actually watch? If Conor and O'Malley met you in person, what would you say to them, or would you be friendly stuff? I don't dislike either one of them. I mean, I don't necessarily hate either one of them. Why would I go out of my way to disrespect them? I mean, if we talked about their careers, sure, I can give them my opinion on it. How do you feel about Fiji water overpriced? Yes. There was one card to do 1 million pay-per-view buys pre-UFC 100. Which one was it? No clue. I don't know. Was it the other one with Brock on it? TJ wears Venom gear now. He doesn't need EPO anymore. Exactly. Is there anyone you picked against Jones? Yes, but I don't remember who. Let me take a look. By the way, guys, do me a favor. Go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MMAJoeyC. I'm posted in the chat right now. Go follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MMAJoeyC. All right, where was I at? I kind of, okay, read that. Oh, I was talking about Jones. Okay, John Jones. Who did I pick against John Jones? I think I know who it is, but I'm going to go through. I picked Jones against Reyes. I picked Jones against Santos. I picked Jones against Smith. I picked Jones against Gustafsson. I picked Jones against Cormier. I picked Jones against Ovince St. Preux. I picked Jones against Cormier. I picked Jones against Glover. I believe I might actually pick Glover. I was very high on Glover, so I can't remember, but I think I might have picked Glover, actually, as crazy as that sounds. I picked Jones against Gustafsson. I picked Jones against Chael. I picked Jones against Vitor. I picked Jones against Rashad. And I think I picked Lyoto Machida over Jones. As crazy as that sounds, it wasn't that crazy back then. It was not that crazy back then. So, and then I think I picked Jones against Rampage, and I picked Jones against Shogun. But I don't even know if I picked the Shogun fight because I wasn't really watching like religiously at that point. Like enough to like really know enough to pick fights, if that makes sense. That's the year I'd start watching. That's UFC 128. I started watching at UFC 114. So I just started watching that year. So there you go. There's who I picked Jones against. Where was I at? Where was that? House tour. I posted videos in the Discord. When I end the stream, I'll post a video of me walking from my office to my bathroom. I'll post it in the Discord. So if you want to become part of the members Discord, the link is down in the description. It's cool. Glad to see some UFC fights. Have a bit of backbone. Taking pictures. Okay. With the social media guy. Yeah. I don't really care one way or another. I think it's kind of, it doesn't affect me one way or another. How would you consider Jones? There's an asterisk next to it. Thoughts on UFC saying fighters can't bet on fights anymore? I don't know. Are pictures behind you randomly memories or random, or you have memories or random picks? It's actually all. It's not set there in a way to be caught up on camera, but it's all MMA memorabilia. One is a picture of Petr Yan versus Jose Aldo with a Petr Yan autograph. One is a Dan Henderson autograph. The big one, like right here, that's an Anderson Silva autograph. So I have a video of all my MMA memorabilia on the members only video content. So if you ever want to check it out, it's on there. So I prefer is Aljo's KOs to cheat. Yeah, I don't really like Aljo or TJ. Who would you pick in Cyril Gane versus John Jones? I pick Jones. UFC 92 versus Rashad Evans, Forrest Griffin. Really? Really? Okay, where was I at? How many pay-per-view buys would GSP versus Khabib in their prime get? I'd say probably 1.4 million. TJ will lose to wrestling. Sorry, guys. Disagree. I think TJ will be able to stuff the takedowns. Let's be honest. We're all going to be sweating for the weigh-ins Friday at 1 a.m. Yes. Do you have a Pick'em League on Tapology? Right now, I just have like a members-only Tapology. But next year, maybe the beginning of next year, I might start like a Pick'em where everyone can join if they want. I haven't really thought about it too much. Because it seems like not a lot of people do the Tapology picks. And like we have like, out of all the members, we've literally got like 12 people to sign up, and like 3 of them only make picks. So it's like everyone forgets to make their picks. Machida was undefeated monster when he fought Jones. Was he undefeated? He had lost to Shogun in the past, hadn't he? It's crazy that It's crazy that 3 UFC champions' birthdays are today. Yep. Well, I guess, are you talking about October 17th? So, did we discuss Bellator or just UFC? We discuss anything and everything MMA related. Nurmagomedov is coming to the UFC after he takes a belt in November. It's possible. It snowed outside. I really hope no fights get lost due to weigh-ins. Agreed. Betting will eventually ruin the sport. I'm just tired of hearing about betting, to be honest. When did you meet Silva? I didn't meet him. I bought it. Okay, I caught up with the chat. What are Leon Edwards' chances in a rematch against Usman? Is he going to be a betting favorite? No, he's not going to be a betting favorite. And I give him like a 20% chance. I think there's a chance Usman's chin is gone. Usman gets old overnight. and Leon Edwards finishes him again, but I don't think it's super likely. Joey, I need you to do I don't even know what that means. I will shave my mom if Charles wins. Okay, well, you'll be shaving your mom maybe, if my pick's right. I've tried to get 3 online buddies on Tapology, and only one of them still uses it weekly. Yeah, dude, I mean, it's not annoying, but it is kind of disheartening. Like, nobody ever makes their picks, basically. I try to make my picks so I can track them, because I keep forgetting who I picked, and people say, who you pick, and I can't remember. I'm not doing terrible right now. I'm doing full card picks on there. And right now I'm 134 and 85, which isn't great. It's about 61. It's 61.2%, which isn't great, but it's not terrible either. So, I mean, I'm happy with it. I think it's all right. Charles isn't going to beat Islam. We will see. I called off work Saturday. Y'all fit to make the call off for the weigh-ins Friday. Yeah, call off for the weigh-ins too. If sports betting didn't exist, the world would die. I know, but I'm so tired of talking about it. Okay, honestly, how does Leon make 170? I mean, Leon seems like a perfect 170er. The rematch won't be at elevation. I favor Edwards. I think that's just a bullshit excuse. Usman era could be over. That's a good point. It could be. What's your name on Tapology? I'll give you a follow. I think it's just MMA Joey. Yeah, it's just MMA Joey. I don't know. I don't think there's other people. I don't even know how. I didn't even know you could follow people, but sure, if you want to follow me, go ahead and follow me. I don't know if there's like a setting I have to turn on. I didn't know you could follow people. This is your Tapology page. Yeah, I don't know. I think my name's just MMA Joey. Yeah, it says tapped in as MMA Joey. So, there you go. I feel like Jan's personality would carry him a lot further if he could speak better English. I mean, maybe, but I think a lot of people don't care. I don't care. I think Usman might be scared of Leon now and fight weird. Also, he might have taken a lot of brain damage. It could be. I think he's going to come out very grappling heavy. Why is Khabib not the GOAT? Start the argument. He is currently the GOAT, but if Charles beats Islam, I think Charles surpasses him. 60% is right around even for usual betting, I believe. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think top UFC fighters that don't speak English should always try and learn it, or do not? I don't really care. Yeah, I don't care at all. I don't really watch a lot of interviews. I just care about the best fighters fighting the best fighters. And if there's some little bit of build up and a little bit of heat, that's fine. But I mean, think about Islam Oliveira. I can't understand a word they say, and this is the most excited I've been for a fight in years. Only 3 title defenses, that alone limits his GOAT potential. I would agree. I would agree. So, we will find out. We will find out very, very soon if Charles Oliveira is going to end up being the GOAT. Because if he beats Makhachev, who's going to beat him at that point? Maybe Fiziev. But if he beats Makhachev, I don't see Gamrot or Beneil beating him. So, okay. Where does Yaroslav Amosov sit in the UFC welterweight rankings? I think he would be top 10. I think Yaroslav would be top 10. He's a very good grappler, and you need to be a grappler in the welterweight division. So, I don't know. Maybe outside the top 5, but he would still be there. Which region is better fighters, Russians or Brazilians? I don't know. I haven't sat here and tallied them. How about that 0? I don't know what you're talking about there. Brazilians always have chance. Russians only had Khabib and Yan. Oliveira and his interpreter are fire. I'm always hyped for that post-fight. Yeah. Honestly, the whole language conversation is dumb. I can't understand a word Charles is saying, but he's so damn good. I'm watching regardless. I literally just said that myself, so I'm happy that you agree with me. That 0 MJ had 0 final losses. Okay. 16 of those fights were against cans, and if more fighters were given 16 free fights, there would be a lot more undefeated fighters. That is true. Who wins, Leon Edwards or Hamza? I would take Hamza. I think he would be able to out-grapple him. I'm out, Joey. Catch you later. Adios, JJ Smoke. We're going to go for 2 hours. We're going to make it a 2-hour stream, guys. And then I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to stream on Wednesday. I don't think I'm going to stream tomorrow, but I might. If I get harassed, I get harassed in the Discord on a daily basis. Joey, you streaming tonight? Joey? And then I'm like, oh my goodness, now I got to stream. But I like doing it anyway, so it's fun. But I'm probably not going to stream tomorrow. And then I'll probably stream Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And Saturday. So, there you go. I don't know. Imagine if Charles wins, then Volk beats him. That'd be crazy. That would make Volk um that would make Volk at the top of the list. If Leon's the next GOAT at welterweight, if he beats Usman, no. 29-0, maybe lost one round ever. If that's not GOAT status, I don't know what is. That doesn't mean anything. The 29-0 means absolutely nothing. Means absolutely nothing. The undefeated status means absolutely nothing. It's about the quality of competition. Again, I will go to an elementary school playground at recess and I will go 50-0 against elementary school children. That doesn't make me the GOAT of fighting. He fought a lot of bums early in his career. Khabib is right now the GOAT at lightweight. Don't get me wrong, but he's not the UFC GOAT. He's not the UFC fighter GOAT. He's not surpassing guys like Anderson or GSP. He's not even close. And that's why Charles Oliveira is so close right now, because the level of opposition that he's fought. So the best fan, Khabib's one of my favorite fighters. I was devastated that he retired. I have a Khabib autograph hanging in my living room. I have a Khabib Funko Pop right here. Look, Khabib Funko Pop. Look. Khabib Funko right there. Boom. Can you see that? There you go. It's focused. So I am by no means a Khabib Nurmagomedov hater. Again, he's one of my favorite fighters. 29-0 doesn't mean shit when you're beating up cans, okay? Okay, and at that point, then you might as well... Sean O'Malley's halfway on his way to becoming the GOAT, even though he's fought nothing but garbage cans. So, it's just one of those things. I think that's a dumb argument. Being undefeated, it doesn't matter. It depends on who you're fighting, But agree to disagree. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Now, where was I at now? Bryce Mitchell be champ one day. Disagree. Who do you think Volk has a better chance against, considering he's next in line? Against Oliveira. I think Islam's a bad matchup for Volk. So why does Volk get the title shot over Dariush? If Dariush wins, shouldn't Dariush get it? Because Volk's put in a lot of work at 45, I guess. I don't necessarily like it either, but it's not necessarily unfair. Do you think Khamzat versus Costa could happen next? Yes, but I think Khamzat will stay at welterweight. How much of Khabib's wins are legit so we can see how much of his win streak is rigged? I don't know. Like half of it's against cans. How many good guys did Khabib beat compared to how many good guys Oliveira beat? I mean, that's very subjective. It's hard to say. You think Alex vacates the featherweight title if he beats either Charles or Islam for the lightweight title? Probably, maybe. I don't know. Just stream every day. It's the Super Bowl of MMA. Maybe. We'll see. Bro, that's what I'm talking about. With Sean Brady, he's 15-0 versus grocery store cashiers. Chiesa is mid at best. Only legit win. Bilal has faced 8-9 guys who are mid or better. Yeah, but Sean Brady's fighting Bilal now. If he beats Bilal, he puts that argument to the, puts it on the back burner. Were you really shocked when Khabib announced his retirement? No, I was not shocked that he announced. I was annoyed. I was not annoyed. I was sad is what I meant. I said devastated. So I wasn't shocked. I have a Khabib Nurmagomedov autograph, and I bought it because I bought it right 2 days after his dad died, because I said his last fight he may retire. So I'm going to buy his autograph. And I bought his autograph for maybe $200. It's this really nice picture of him after the Conor McGregor win when he's pointing to the crowd. Or he's pointing to Dylan Dennis. And I have that autograph. It's a nice frame, everything. And I bought it because I said, you know what? If he does retire after the Gaethje fight, buying stuff like this is going to go through the roof. And now it's something similar is $400. I'm never going to resell it. But the point is I wanted something and I knew it was going to jump up in price. That looks nothing like Khabib. I mean, it looks pretty close. With the hair, at least. The Funko Pops aren't supposed to be identical twins, dude. Adam Bork's overrated. Yeah, I think he is. Still a good streak. Sean is a GOAT in the same sentence already. Yeah. Charles is way, way overrated. Disagree. For some reason, if Brady KO'd Bilal, it would make my day. I feel like Bilal is sort of delusional in a lot of ways. The only thing that Bilal said that really rubbed me the wrong way was he talked about Leon Edwards versus Nate and Leon not putting on a good performance versus Nate when Bilal put on a shit-stained performance against Damian Maia. So that really actually rubbed me the wrong way. Do you consider Charles' win over Kevin Lee a good one? It's decent. It's decent. It's subjective, though. Would Tony Ferguson right now beat all of Khabib's opponents before the UFC? I don't know. I don't know every single one of them, so I can't say for sure. Would no one contest Khabib the GOAT at lightweight right now with a win versus Islam? Charles will be the new lightweight GOAT. Agreed. But people argue about that to the blue in the face. If Charles starches Islam and then starches Beneil or Gamrot and then starches Fiziev, they'll still say, well, Khabib went undefeated and Charles has losses, so he can't be the GOAT. And it's a delusional argument. Do leg kicks still hurt if you check them? Yes. I think Volk stays champ at both because he said at a post-fight interview at 276 he wants to keep both. But it never works that way. Multiple people have said that. He'd beat the dog shit out of them, Jackson. Any other autographs you really want to add to your collection? Charles Oliveira. I want a Charles Oliveira autograph. If he beats Islam, I'm going to be on the lookout for a picture from UFC 280 for him autographed. Over 100 in here. Nice. Yeah, I think there was like 111 people in here at once. Guys, do me a favor. If you're in here, you just found the channel. Subscribe to the channel. It seems like we've been consistently getting around 100 people per live stream now. But subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and like the stream. I would greatly appreciate it if you like the stream. Helps grow the channel, helps push the live stream out to more people, and helps me out. It's free, so just go ahead and do it. If Volk gets a win over Dariush, does he deserve a title shot? If Volk gets a win, yes, 100%. He already deserves one. Trade your Khabib autograph to a boxing glove signed by Mike Tyson. No, I don't really necessarily want that. Leon was stitching up Bilal before the eye poke. Yeah, Leon would have destroyed Bilal before the eye poke. He would have an event. I think Leon would have finished Bilal. Why did Charles lose to Paul Felder and Max Holloway? What were his weaknesses? Well, he got injured versus Max Holloway. The Paul Felder loss, the Anthony Pettis loss, the Ricardo Lamas loss was Charles was a different fighter back then where he would get on the ground regardless if he took you down or you took him down, and he would just start spamming the submissions nonstop, trying to chain them together. He'd go for a knee bar. He'd go for an ankle lock. He'd go for a triangle. He'd go for an arm bar. And he would just continue to chain these submissions together. He would float out and try to get the back and get a rear naked, and then he'd fall off the top, and then he would just keep trying to grapple and grapple and grapple and grapple and grapple. And then what would happen is he would get tired, blow out his legs, blow out his arms. Cardio was an issue, and then he would either get destroyed by ground and pound in the Paul Felder fight, or in the Lamas and the Pettis fights, he got submitted because he was tired. So unfortunate Charles won't have another title defense on paper with a win on Saturday. I know he'll have 3 title defenses, but only actually have 1, which is super unfortunate. If Brady loses to Bilal, you'd agree that maybe it's because Bilal was the first real test? Yes. If Sean beats Yan, I also would think in hindsight agree that 3 rounds versus 5 rounds would be the difference. We'll see. Did Tony Ferguson get washed after the Gaethje fight or before? I don't really think he got washed until after the Chandler fight. Personally, I think Oliveira needs this one and one more, and he overtakes Khabib in the GOAT talk. Yeah, but even if he does, people will still be doubting him, which is crazy. If Islam beats Oliveira, watch fans call Oliveira a journeyman. They probably will. What's more determined than Oliveira fighting Lee right after his brutal KO on Gillespie? Brutal, ballsy stuff, okay? Also noted, I can't stand Bilal. He acts like he can even compete versus Chimaev when he hasn't beat anyone in an impressive way yet, just point wrestling. Yeah, and he's not even a great grappler, to be honest. That's why I think Sean Brady, I almost said Sean O'Malley there. I think Sean Brady will control him against the fence and win with just positional control. Basically, he'll just eke out rounds. It'll be a close, gritty fight. I agree 100%. For whatever reason, people cling onto the 0 from Khabib. Charles is on an 11-fight win streak right now. And like you said, a few more wins, he's undoubtedly above Khabib. And people will still say that's not the case. People will still say that's not the case. And it's actually kind of annoying. But it is what it is. It's not meant as a disrespect to Khabib. Khabib is still a great fighter. But if Oliveira can, let's say he KOs Islam, Khabib's saying Islam's the best fighter he's ever seen. So how does that not make Charles the GOAT? All of Charles' losses were in the later rounds when other fighters weathered the storm. Agreed. Is Yuri Prohaska belt defense official? Does anyone know? Yes, it's official for UFC 182 in December. I take Bilal to out-cardio Hamzat in a 5-rounder, maybe, but I think Bilal will get finished before then. People say Oliveira is disrespected, but oh my God, is Dariush disrespected? Dariush is one of the most underrated fighters on the UFC roster. People forget how good he is. I mean, I picked against him, but Dariush is very, very good. It would not surprise me if he beats Mateus Gamrot. Who is better, Stipe or Fedor? I didn't watch the Fedor Prime air, so I'll say Stipe. Bilal's going to shut up the haters on Saturday. Wait, Sean Brady also wins on points and control. Bilal fights smart. Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Bro, I just want to say you were getting lots of slack in August about UFC 279 situation. You handled it like a champion. You have been showing up day after day with content. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I don't worry about anybody that's getting pissed off or talking shit. It's irrelevant to me. I get on here to discuss MMA. I'm going to give you my honest opinion, whether you like it or not. And that's just what it is. I'm just having some fun discussing MMA on a YouTube channel. Just me sitting in a room alone, looking at a camera, looking at a microphone, and looking at a chat and discussing MMA. So appreciate your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad you guys have been enjoying the streams. I'm glad you guys have been enjoying the videos. And we're going to continue to put them out and continue to do the streams. Charles never even defended the title. Not one title defense yet. Stop calling him the GOAT. He defended it against Dustin Poirier, dude. What are you talking about? I bet Charles has the most fights against top 10. I don't know, but he's fought at pretty much everyone at this point, it seems like. Dariush by casual KO, as casual as it gets. If Dariush wins by stoppage, I could see Dariush winning by like body kick KO. Sarukian was landing a lot of nasty body kicks, and Beneil has nasty kicks to the body. What should Max Holloway do next? If I'm Max Holloway, I just wait it out and I see what happens with Volk potentially moving up to 155 pounds. And then if Volk is going to move up to 155 pounds, then I'm hoping and praying that he relinquishes the featherweight belt, and then I can regain it. That's what I'm doing if I'm Max right now. Because he's in a tricky spot. For sure. He's in a tricky spot. 3 losses to the champion. The last one being the most dominant one of the losses. So he's in a tricky spot, but that's what I would do. I would just wait it out and pray that Volkanovski goes up to 145 pounds or 155 pounds and stays there. Yeah, so that's the best for Max. Otherwise, he's in a shitty spot. Max Holloway's in a spot where he's lost 3 times to the champion. He's so good that the UFC is not going to want to match him up with contenders because the UFC needs contenders to feed to Volk to defend his belt against. And if Max Holloway is just good enough where he's better than all the contenders, but he's not going to be competing for a belt, the UFC is not going to, he's in no man's land. The UFC is not going to want him knocking off contenders because then you're going to have nobody to give to Volk. And you're in a shitty spot. So his best hope is that Volk goes to 55, wins the belt, and stays there. Dana said Volk gets the winner, so does that mean he's done at 45? No, and he said it makes sense. He didn't officially say it from what I saw, the clip that I saw. Charles Oliveira beat about more named fighters than Khabib already. If Oliveira beat Islam and Volkanovski, people would be nuts thinking Khabib ranks higher. Agreed 100%. If he beats Islam and Volkanovski, it's unequivocally, there is no argument to be made. Oliveira will have surpassed Khabib. But I think Islam and Khabib and that whole camp and AK will still say Khabib's the lightweight GOAT. Max Holloway doesn't need to retire, Tony. Oh my God, please no. I do not want to see Max Holloway versus Tony. Tony looked terrible against Nate. Brady hasn't had the competition that Bilal's had. He looked terrible against Chiesa. He looked good early. He looked terrible late. But I'm still picking him against Bilal, unfortunately. Or maybe fortunately, because maybe I'm going to be right. We will see. I'm trying to understand this logic. People say Islam hasn't fought competition. But those same people, them same dudes are picking Brady to beat Bilal. Both statements can be true. You can think Brady's going to beat Bilal. You can think Islam's going to beat Charles. And you can say Brady and Islam have not fought top competition. That doesn't mean everything. That's one factor. That's one, piece of the puzzle to use in your analysis in your prediction. So, would Dariush flying knee walk off type KO get him a title shot? Probably. Prime Chad Mendez versus Michael Chandler. What made you come up with this matchup? I take Michael Chandler. If Oliveira beats Islam, it's fair to say he's past Khabib. 150%. But it's close. It's still a little bit close. But I agree with you. Okay, 65% of the chat is taking Charles Oliveira. Yeah, so looks like a majority of the chat is leaning with me. 65% with Oliveira, 34% with Makhachev. Let's do another poll. Who is the lightweight GOAT? Oliveira with Islam win or Khabib? So it's Oliveira with a win over Islam or Khabib Nurmagomedov. Those are the two answers. I think Islam will get it done in 2. We'll see. Holloway basically has to pray somebody beats Volk or move to lightweight, or pray that Volk stays at lightweight when he moves there. That's what he's got to hope for. How does Brady beat Bilal? I see Bilal hitting him and moving him. I think Brady's the better grappler. So I think Brady will get positional control against the fence. I think he'll get Bilal down a couple times. I think he'll do Bilal work back to his feet, but he'll get Bilal down again. And he'll just win the positional battles. And he'll basically win the fight with clinch work. That's my thought process. You can watch my full breakdown and prediction, which is on the channel, along with every other UFC 280 prediction. You can check that out. My friend said Islam could beat everyone at lightweight. What fight would be the toughest for him besides Oliveira? If Islam beats Oliveira, I don't see Islam losing for a long, long time. But the toughest matchup, either Gamrot or Fiziev, in my opinion. No one is a genius this week, regardless. The 5 male fights are toss-ups. Whoever shows up and wants it more will win. In the end, just hope UFC doesn't post a dumb fake bet. Yeah, they will. A dumb fake bet is coming soon. When Holloway eventually declines, it's going to be a sad day for MMA fans. Maybe he's already there. It's hard to say. Volkanovski may just be that good. What matchup would you make after Beneil Gamrot for #1 contender? If Gaethje isn't willing to fight Fiziev, I'd do Gamrot, Beneil winner versus Fiziev for #1 contender if Volkanovski's fighting for the belt. If you're picking Brady, you got to pick Oliveira. Both style matchups are made for champs right now, okay? If Charles Islam turns into a 5-round war, I would absolutely lose it. Can't take that much anxiety. Could you imagine if it's just back and forth, Glover to Shera, Yuri Prohaska type battle? This is how I see it. Under 2 rounds, I got Olives. After that, I'm going Islam. That's what I said earlier in the stream. I think if it goes past 2 rounds, I think I am heavily in favor of Islam pulling that off. If it goes over 2 rounds, it's going to be in favor of Makhachev for sure. So we'll see. The fight's almost here, guys. Just pray nothing happens to it. Pray nothing happens to it. I really hope nothing does. Because otherwise, I don't think I can even make a video. If the main event were to get canceled, or like we get breaking news, Oliveira versus Makhachev is off, I don't even think I'd get on here and stomach a video. I really think I would just disappear off YouTube. I think I'd just delete my whole YouTube channel. I'd be so pissed and so devastated, regardless of what the circumstances. I'd be so annoyed. I would be so annoyed. Because this is like a once in 5 years type of fight right here. I am so pumped. I cannot even elaborate and articulate how excited I am for Charles Oliveira, Islam Makhachev. It's such a fun fight. It's such a compelling style matchup. It's an amazing card. And it's the cherry on the top. If we lose the main event and then on top of that, it doesn't get rescheduled, like we have Volk versus Charles or Volk versus Islam, and the fact that we may never see Oliveira versus Makhachev, I'd be pissed. I'd be inconsolable. I really don't think I could do a video on it. I'd be so angry. I'd literally be crying on camera. I'm getting pissed just thinking about it right now. So let's pray to the MMA gods. Let's all pray to the MMA gods that it doesn't fall through, because that will suck badly. It will suck badly. So, let's see. All right, guys. Let's see where I was at. Have you made a decision whether you're going to stream the fights or lean towards maybe a post-fight stream? I think I'm going to stream the fights and do a post-fight stream. I'm pretty sure that's what I'm doing now. I just kind of, I want to chill and watch it on my TV, but at the same time, I want my reactions forever enshrined. I think I'm going to stream 280, and I'm not going to stream 281. I think that's what I'm going to do. This is how I see it. Okay, read that. O'Malley beats Yan in a 3-rounder. Yan wins a 5-rounder. I disagree, but okay. Do you say Chandler's a tough matchup for Islam? I'd say Gamrot and Fiziev. That's what I mean. I already said that, so we're on the same page. Who wins Volk versus Chandler in what round and how? I think Volk probably chins him. Demir could beat Islam. Demir's very good. Have you made it? Okay, read that. How about if Islam beats Oliveira? Is he all of a sudden GOAT status? Why are we not throwing that GOAT status everywhere? Because that would be his only quality win, so no. But a couple more wins, 3-4 more title defenses against high-level opponents, he's right up there in that discussion. I pick C if Oliveira beat Islam. Yeah, it looks like it's neck and neck right now. Oliveira with the win over Islam is in the lead. It's time for Tony to retire. I agree. If Volk step in, that's the worst case scenario for everyone. I agree. I'm undefeated in UFC because I never had one fight in it. I'm the GOAT. Exactly. Yeah, I've never lost a UFC fight. If Alex has to step in, I'm going to be so mad. I'd be pissed. I'm breaking something. Do you think Yan gets a title shot after beating O'Malley? Personally, I think it should be the winner of Cheeto Sandhagen. Yes. Yan lost a controversial split decision to Aljamain in the second fight. I think they give him a title shot, especially considering TJ will be the new champ probably. Who wins Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington? Because Leon knocked out Usman and Colby lost twice to him. MMA math doesn't always work. I would lean Edwards, but Colby might be able to just out-wrestle him the whole fight. Islam versus Charles feels like a year in the making. I don't know why. It does feel like a year in the making. I agree. Who wins Leon Edwards? Read that. Don't do that, man. Please, Oliveira is barely in Abu Dhabi. A week coming from a weight miss. Let's the scale gods be on the fan side. Yeah. Glad to see we're ending the year with great cards. 282 is going to be crazy if Jones-Stipe gets finalized. Imagine. I think we would all go mental insane asylum if any of these fights get canceled. Yes, please, no. To be brutally honest, the only fight that would love to see it canceled would be the girl main card fight. No, that's a great fight. I don't want that to be canceled. If the fight falls through, it'll be Islam's side for a bad weight cut or injury. Please, no. Oliveira never beat me, not once. I'm the GOAT. There you go. Thoughts on Masvidal trying to weasel his way into another title shot? Sounds about right. I think Masvidal is like 3 fights away from being in Bellator. Is Islam going to rematch Oliveira if he wins or fight? It depends how the fight ends. Islam versus Gamrot, sign me up. How the hell is Khabib even close to lightweight GOAT? The dude's fought Kansas his entire career, but somehow gets GOAT status. He has quality wins. That's an exaggeration. He has quality wins, but point duly noted. Volk stepping in would be a nice surprise. You shut your mouth. No, it wouldn't. What's going on with Jones? I can't see people saying breaking and it's nothing. Yeah, it's annoying. We don't know. Does Makhachev have good striking or just elite level grappling? Elite level grappling, and he's very good defensively in the striking, but offensively, no. Watching Charles walking that line gave me anxiety. Imagine he got attacked and it got canceled. That'd be horrific. Do you think we ever get back to the point where we see a heavyweight belt on the line more than twice a year? It seems like not. It seems like that's never going to happen. I mean, Stipe and DC fought each other, once a year for what seemed like ever. So, I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I highly, highly doubt it. And it's super annoying, to be quite honest. And I'm not a big fan at all. I'm not a big fan at all. And it's very, very annoying. All right, guys, keep the questions coming. We're going to go for a little bit longer. I will be streaming Wednesday. I'll be streaming Friday. I may stream Tuesday, and I may stream Thursday. I don't know yet. It's a big week, and I enjoy talking about UFC 280. So, okay, Aljo will freeze EPOC. Okay. If Islam clips him in the first round KO, what would you do? Oh my God, that's crazy. I don't know, man. It'd be nuts. Wait, is there a girl fight actually good? Yes. Caitlin Chukagi and Manon Fury are two of the best 125-pound women in the world. They're elite level fighters. It's not better than Brady Bilal, but it's still a good fight. Masvidal fumbled his career by believing in his own hype. If you're going to say Khabib fought cans, then Tony only fought cans because they fought the same guys. All right, whatever. Guy was a journeyman who landed one nice knee. More than twice a year? You mean more than once a year at best? Yeah, they only fight once a year. The heavyweight division is terrible. Manon is going to TKO her like. Manon is going. Yeah, I picked Manon by TKO. You can watch my prediction on the channel. Super Bowl week for MMA content. Very, very true. Very, very true. Everyone is loving UFC 280, and there's just not enough content to go around. People are dying to see some UFC 280 content. Is Chael Sonnen right? There's guys on the 280 card that don't want to be there and are about to call it in any minute. Chael Sonnen just makes up bullshit 24/7. Ranked fighters sit on the sidelines way too long. Yeah. Masvidal broke Askren the 20-0 record. He's elite. Anyone saying otherwise is delusional. I mean, Masvidal was a very good fighter. I'm not saying that he wasn't good, but some people overrate him since that knee. I thought Masvidal was underrated before the knee, overrated after the knee. I think Volk loses to both Islam and Oliveira, honestly. I think Volk has a better chance against Oliveira than he does against Islam. Does your wife ever get mad that you're streaming at night? No. Why would she get mad at me? She's asleep right now. She goes to bed early. I'm like, I can't ever sleep, so I'm like always awake. So if I'm not streaming, I'm just tossing and turning in bed, wide awake, watching something on my phone. So why not put it into the channel? So, is it true that the UFC started a digital scale recently just this year instead of a manual? I haven't heard that, but I hope so. I got to watch your breakdown of the women's fights because I've seen all your other ones. Yeah, go watch it. Go watch it. Actually, I still got to watch your Oliveira Islam one too. I think the Oliveira Islam breakdown on the channel may be one of the best prediction videos I've ever done. And it's almost 24 minutes, which is crazy because I don't have a planned like time range for the videos. Typically, my videos are like 10 to 15 minutes, but I just go until I'm done with what I have to say. I don't talk in circles to try to extend videos for no reason. I'm giving you pertinent information, solid opinions, solid information, and whatever time the video is done, the video is done. That's my thinking behind it. And this ended up being 23 minutes and 21 seconds. And I think it's one of my best videos I've ever done, to be quite honest. It's an amazing video. And I'm hyped because it's getting good views. It's only been out a couple hours. It's working on 3,000 views, which is very, very good for my channel. Very, very good. So I'm hyped. The channel is doing very good. All the predictions are doing decent. The Sean O'Malley's working on about 2.5K right now. The Gamrot Dariush video is over 1,000. The Muhammad Brady's over 2,000. The Makhachev Gordon's working on 1,000. The Manon Chukagian isn't that great, but it's a good fight, so I wanted to do it anyway, even though I knew a lot of people wouldn't watch it. I did it anyway because I think it's a quality fight that deserved to be talked about. So everything's doing solid. I mean, my stream from 2 days ago, or was that last night? Did I stream last night? Yeah, I think it was actually last night. The stream from yesterday has like 1,200 views, which is solid. The Grasso Arujo stream did garbage, but I knew it was going to do that. That's why I almost didn't stream it. But it's still solid. But the channel would be nothing without you guys watching. So thank you guys for watching. I'm getting a little bit tired, but we're going to go. Keep the questions coming, and we'll continue to go. We'll continue to go. In my opinion, most matches in 280 are close. They're very close. Sorry, Masvidal's overrated. All hype. He won't take that Burns fight. Watch. We'll see. Joey, you are a true pro, my man. Can't wait till you hit 100K subs. Thank you, Benji. I appreciate it. We'll aim for the moon, my friend. What is the percentage chance Sean beats Petr? I think less than 15. I think if Oliveira wins by KO or TKO, not sub. Watch my prediction. That's what I say as well. You're parroting the same thing. So 107 people still in here. Let's get the likes up. Yeah, it's showing me 109 right now. So if you guys are in here and you have not liked the stream, look, if we get over 100 likes on the stream, we're at 72 right now. I'm going to regret saying this. If we get over 100 likes, we'll go really close to 3 hours. If we get over 100 likes on the stream, we'll go close to 3 hours. I don't know how close, but maybe like 2 hours and 45 minutes, somewhere like that. I'm getting kind of tired, but I can make it pretty close. So if we get over 100 likes on the stream, we'll go for close to 3 hours. So we got enough people in here to do it. So just go like the stream right now if you want it to continue. Tossing and turning like the meme where the girl says, I bet he's thinking of someone else. Meanwhile, you're just hoping they make weight. Oliveira can't submit Islam. He can. He can definitely submit Islam. But I think it's more likely he TKOs him. You think the UFC is trying to get rid of Aljo as champ since they already want to book Yan for another title fight if he beats O'Malley? I don't know if they actively want to or not, but it's one of those things where I don't think they're thinking about that too much. If Chukagian wins, does Grasso Chukagian make sense? I guess so. I mean, Chukagian is probably not getting another title shot, but she's done some damage, so she may. I picked against Bilal in his last 4 to 5 fights. I'm done doubting the man. Makes sense. GSP got pummeled several times, and Jones fought mostly blown up middleweights. Silva's later fights were awful. All right. I mean, Jones fought an amazing heir, a past heir, and a current heir. If you were going to bet, what fight would you bet first on UFC 280, good sir? I mean, if you're asking me which fight am I most confident in, Yan over O'Malley. Who wins, GSP or Prime Usman? Prime GSP. If O'Malley wins, I think it's first because Petr is a slow starter. Yeah, I think if O'Malley wins, he wins by first round KO. I don't see him winning any other fashion. Is there any chance Khamzat gets the winner of Bilal Brady? It's possible, and yes, I would want to see it, but I'd rather see Khamzat versus Colby. Imagine the scenes. Charles Oliveira lands a flush uppercut to Islam as he's shooting on a takedown. Camera pans to Haswell screaming no, and Charles hops the fence and attacks Habib. Sign me up for that. Who wins, Prime Colby Covington or Prime Burns? That's 50-50. I'll go with Burns. Burns beats Colby because Colby wants to try to take Burns down, and Burns hits way harder. Yeah, but Burns got a suspect chin, so it's hard to say. It's hard to say. How can Habib be the GOAT when nobody can even name more than half his opponents? Most of his wins were bums. He has a solid UFC resume. I think people over-exaggerate it both ways. When stream. How many likes for you to wear your Venom gear on camera? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gonna take like $150 super chat for that. Because if I start wearing the Venom gear on camera, then I start acting like a badass, and then I got people. I got nothing but women trying to swarm the house. You're the most entertaining streamer because you actually answer questions. Appreciate it. Appreciate the kind words. How many champions you have lose before this year's over? Well, Weili Zhang wins her belt over Carla. I'll say, I don't know who. It depends how many champions are defending, but I'll say Aljo loses his. Carla loses hers. I'll say Adesanya keeps his. And I'll say Yuri keeps his. So two or three. 2 or 3. Colby is about to be 35. It only goes downhill from here. Yeah, and he's continuing to sit out. I'm more nervous about the weigh-ins than I am for actual fights nowadays. I agree 100%, Roman. Do you think all the fighters on top 3 of the card will touch gloves? There are interesting odds on that kind of stuff. Yes, I do. For some reason, I think Cejudo gets the next title shot. Maybe. But I don't think the UFC will. Cejudo retired as a negotiating tactic. So the UFC doesn't take too kindly to that. If Leon Edwards can beat Usman, we know Khamzat will 100% beat Usman, right? Not necessarily. I wish Khamzat was on the card. Agreed. Colby has never dropped any fighter with his hands. Honestly, do you think Dana had something to do with Khamzat's weight miss? No. Nate, he would have killed Nate, though, for sure. He would have murdered Nate. To the person who says Khabib only fought bums, you should also say Tony only fought bums. Who has more power and punches, Colby Covington or Nate Diaz? Colby Covington, probably. But they both got pillow punches, honestly. They both got pillow punches. Not what I meant, brother. What fight would you bet first in the order they are? I'm still not understanding the question, Matt. I'm still not. What fight would you bet first in the order they are? I'm not comprehending that. If someone can clarify in the chat for me, I would love to answer that, but I have no idea what you mean. I don't think Oliveira Islam touch gloves. I think there's some tension. I think they probably will. Why you got so much doubt in O'Malley? Because he's fought nothing but bums. And the one good fighter he's fought, he's lost. And the other good, actually, he's fought two good fighters. One's a no contest because of an eye poke, and the other one's a loss where he got brutally chopped, brutally elbowed, brutally flash KO'd, and then brutally stretchered out of the cage with no serious injury. Okay, keep in mind, Colby isn't training unless he's going to the gym overnight. Is the build-up to Leon Usman rematch going to be good, considering Usman won't be able to talk trash and confident during the lead-up? I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, when you have a dominant champion lose their belt, I mean, I think the build-up to the next fight is always interesting when they run it back. So, time will tell. But, I mean, that's a ways away. But before you know it, it'll be here. Before you know it, I'll be making a full breakdown and prediction right in front of this camera. This very camera that I own right here. For UFC 285 or whatever it may be. Where you have Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman 3. So, O'Malley was losing to Petr. Let's get real. Agreed. Petr's going to smash the guy with the pink hair. Agreed. I think Leon humbled Usman in a way. Maybe Usman comes back better than ever. Maybe Usman's done. We'll see. We'll find out. There's going to be a lot of questions answered in that third fight. Will Charles walk across the cage octagon and shake his opponent's team's hands like he's done in the entered? Yes, probably. What co-main would you do for Usman versus Leon 3? Khamzat versus Colby. Sign me up for Khamzat versus Colby. I know that's a ways away, and I would like to see that fight sooner. But why not? Book it. Book it. You said you bet Petr, but I asked what fight would you bet first on the card? Not going to wait for the Petr fight. I truly don't. Does anybody understand this question? What fight would I bet? If you're asking what fight am I most confident in my pick, my most confident pick is Petr Yan. But I don't understand what you're asking. Because you keep saying like I'm not answering it correctly, so I don't know what you're trying to say. If anyone can clarify, am I dumb or is this not making any sense? Ngannou Jones would be a co-main for Leon Usman. No. Joey Colby won't fight Khamzat. They've tried many times. It seems like it. It seems like Colby don't want to fight anybody. He's in witness protection. I didn't say he only fights bums. Lamau, can you imagine people fought before being in the UFC? I didn't think his resume ain't really that great to be considered the GOAT. Make Khamzat versus Colby. That's some killers going at it. Yeah, sign me up. I think he meant the first fight of the night. I don't know. I'm reading his next message, and I don't understand what he's saying. I'm confident O'Malley will make it a competitive fight. At minimum, it won't be boring. Yeah, I don't think it'll be boring. If you're going to bet the whole card, what fight first are you betting? Petr Yan. I don't know. I don't know what you're asking. If the answer's not Petr Yan, if I'm picking one fight on the card to bet on, I would bet on Petr Yan to beat Sean O'Malley. But am I crazy or does this not make any sense? I think he's drunk or something. Khabib fought decent competition. My problem with O'Malley is he can dish out punches, but can he take them because Petr's going to touch him? Petr's going to be chopping those legs as well. Yeah, the answer to your question is Mike Goldberg. The answer to Frank, your answer to your question is Mike Goldberg. This is hilarious. I want to know, because sometimes I'll read a question and I don't, and I truly miss the point of the question and it makes sense, but I'll misunderstand it. But this one, I think he's just messing with me, so I'm just done. I've tried to get clarity multiple times. I'm just done. I'm just done. Subscribe to the channel, everyone. Subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go subscribe to the channel this very second. But yeah, the answer to that question is clearly Mike Goldberg. This might be the first time Joey's speechless. I'm not speechless. I'm just dumbfounded. I'm befuddled. Does Petr Yan have a better chance to beat O'Malley than Islam does to beat Oliveira? That's what he's asking. If you're going to bet the whole card, what fight are you betting? Does Petr Yan have a better chance to beat O'Malley than Islam does to beat Oliveira? That's what he's asking. How did you get that question? I'm so confused. I'm so confused. If that's the question, then the answer is yes, Petr Yan has a better chance to beat O'Malley than Islam does to beat Oliveira. I think. Seems like nowadays if you're a backup fighter for the title fight, you're immediately #1 contender for the next shot. I guess so. You're missing the point of first bet. So you'll wait until Petr fights to make that bet without betting anything else. I don't bet at all. I don't bet at all. That's the answer. I don't bet Mike Goldberg. I do not bet. I never bet. I never bet. I don't bet. I don't gamble on fights. I'm not a gambler. Most of the time, it's just basically a scam. They rig the odds, so I don't bet. There you go. Petr is coming with a whole new mindset, all pissed and hungry. He wants to prove a point, okay? I wrestled in kindergarten. What are the chances I can beat Wonderboy? 0, because Wonderboy will not accept the fight. Thoughts on MMA Guru? Do you watch his content? No, I do not, and so I don't really have any thoughts on him. I know he's popular in the MMA community, but that's about it. I think he means in sequence. He doesn't want to wait until later fights to bet. Which prior ones would you bet on? That sentence made sense. So, if what he's saying is what fights earlier in the card am I confident in, I guess? Okay. I have Islam Makhachev by submission. I think that's a good bet. I am taking probably Nikita Krylov. I'm probably taking Caio Borralho. I am taking Sean Brady. I'm taking Manon Fuhrer. I'm taking Gamrot. I'm taking Yan. I'm taking TJ. I'm taking Charles. So the first fight to bet on is Islam Makhachev by submission, if it's good odds. So there you go. I don't bet, though, so I didn't understand the question. The question should have been, what are your prelim picks? That should have been the question. Who are you picking on the prelims? Who are you most confident in the prelims? I'm trying to figure out who I'm going to bet on. That should have been the question. I should understand that. But I don't bet, so I can't answer what would my first bet be. Because if I'm making a bet, then I'm making a confident bet because I'm not a bettor, if that makes sense. So, but thank you for clarifying, Thomas. But your last sentence made no sense either. I think if O'Malley gets his title shot, but not Petr, I think both of them will. Whoever wins will get it. He's talking about the odds to what fight to bet on, okay? Are we still not getting clarity here? I can't talk about it anymore. Joey the GOAT, thank you. Like 7 were decent, the rest are bums. Are you a fan of Volk moving up? Not a huge fan. Thank you for finally answering. The only fight that's a lock is Islam Makhachev. Everything else is too unsure. 3-hour stream. I don't know. We're going. Jesus, we're going. I don't know how. I'm just until I'm done. I'm done. It's a big week. It's a big week. The answer to his questions is watch the prediction videos and also Mike Goldberg. The answer to the question is Mike Goldberg. Short answers: Ways Brady loses, Gamrot loses, Yan loses, TJ loses, Oliveira loses. If Brady loses, he loses by decision. If Gamrot loses, I'll say he loses via TKO. If Yan loses, he loses by KO. If Oliveira loses, he loses by late round TKO. If TJ loses, he loses by decision. 3-hour stream, maybe. Why would you bet on the prelims? It's easier to gauge the outcomes of the main events since we have more footage on both fighters. There you go. I got Gamrot, Yan, TJ, and Charles for my predictions. So we're on the same page. We're on the same page, so your parlay should do good. Is Tony in the conversation to be GOAT? Nobody's talking about Tony, so I don't know. Okay, you're talking to someone else. This is going to be the first time I watch every fight in the UFC card because it's so stacked. I got to say I respect your O'Malley Yan prediction. I expected a lot more. I don't bash anyone. I just give my opinions. If it's a negative opinion, it's a negative opinion. But I appreciate you enjoying it. I mean, there's no prediction video out there. I'm not picking against the guy because I don't like him. I'm not bashing anyone. I'm just giving my opinion, and sometimes they're negative. You know, people take that as bashing. If you say something negative about someone, they take it as bashing. All I'm saying is my legit thoughts. Tony's not the GOAT. Okay, we're not even discussing that. It would be weird to see Yan's chin get cracked, to be honest. One of those fighters you imagine having the Holloway chin. Yeah, it'd be weird to see Yan get put out cold. I think that's highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. Yes, but Habib still had a 13-0 record fighting good opponents, which is more. Yes, that's a fair argument. That's a fair argument. And I'm running out of water, guys. I'm running out of water right now. I just have one last drop of water. So, yeah, we're at 2.5 hours. I want to know who is lurking in the chat right now. Who is lurking in the chat right now? We got 115 people in here right now. Well, now it's shifted to 109. But we got well over 100 people. Who's lurking in the chat right now? If you're lurking, I wonder how many people have fallen asleep with the stream on their phone. I wonder how many people have fallen asleep with the stream on their phone. So let me know if you're lurking, and you're lurking. I would love to know. Well, yeah, good video. Yeah, I'm not trying to be defensive, BT, but I was just saying. I'm not setting an alarm for 10 a.m. for a women's first fight. I'm still... This week is flying by. Already Tuesday. Wow. Yeah. Lurkers, time to wake up. Lurkin, favorite MMA musical YouTuber. I didn't know there. I mean, I didn't know there was one. I guess you're the only one. So, I'm here. What's up, Benji? What's going on? Hamzat kicks Paul's ass without a doubt. I don't know about all that. I'm lurking hard. I have to confess, so many games released this month. I'm always gaming. I hope you're enjoying yourself. I always ask questions because I'm trying to figure out what fights to bet on. Shut up. Yo, Joey, what's worse, a UFC Apex card or a Steven Seagal movie? I never watched any Steven Seagal movies, so I don't know. I'll say UFC Apex card. I've knocked out with the stream on. Yeah, I'm sure people have. Anyone can be put out, though. Kamaru had never really got wobbled in his career. And he got one shot. Yeah, I got to work in 5 hours. Yeah, I don't have to wake up particularly early. I have to wake up about 8. So I don't have to wake up particularly early tomorrow. And so I be watching the streaming while I smoke. Appreciate you. I got a med card, though. Okay. I'm listening while I go to bed for school tomorrow. Joey, I can't wait for the first ever meet and greet. How... I don't know if I'm excited, dude. I feel like I'm gonna get murdered. I don't know when that'll ever happen, but maybe. Oliveira the champ. Did you see that meme on Masvidal? Hilarious. No. Max amount of total defenses Yuri will have 2. What's your karaoke song? I don't even have a karaoke song. I'm not a big musical fan in general. But I guess if I had to sing a karaoke song, what would I sing? My favorite show is The Leftovers. And there's a karaoke scene in that movie. And what song is he singing? He's singing Homeward Bound. So I would pick Homeward Bound. Because that's one of my favorite shows of all time. So, there you go. What fighters are durable enough to have taken a head kick from Leon Edwards and not got knocked out? I think Bilal took one pretty hard. Joey, do you ever drink during the UFC cards? If you mean drink alcohol, no, I do not drink alcohol. But I'm assuming that's what you mean. But just in case that's not what you mean, yes, I drink water. I drink water during the UFC cards. If Oliveira wins, I'd rather him go up for double title status. Nah, he's not gonna have success at welterweight. He's gonna get ragged out at welterweight. If Izzy beats Pereira, should he just move back up and try to capture the light heavyweight title since them guys ain't on a John Jones type of level? If it's Yuri, yes. If it's Glover, Glover will beat the living shit out of Izzy. Glover will ragdoll Izzy and will give him a career-altering beating before Glover retires. So, the answer is yes and no. Have you ever been hammered? I've never drank in my entire life. Fact. That's a fact right there. I know someone's going to say, oh, you're lying. That's the truth. I'm studying for an exam tomorrow. I got to still tune in. To Joey talking 280. Can't wait. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. The most important thing is 11-fight win streak versus 10 streak Sambo versus BJJ. I think Bilal, yeah, that's important. I think Bilal took like 2 of those kicks from Leon and he was still losing. Yeah, Leon looked super aggressive in that fight. I rewatched that too, just recently. Facts, Glover destroys Izzy. Agreed. Wait, hypothetically speaking, since you don't drink, imagine you were legit hammered during a live chat seconds after Islam got flatlined by Charles. I can't imagine. Hamzat the champ. If Pereira beats Izzy again, is Izzy going to get a rematch? Yes, because it would be his first loss in MMA. What is the funniest or most what the F moment you remember seeing in an MMA fight? For me, it's Ebersol versus Hallman. Oh, with the weird Speedo. I thought was it Lando Venata losing his shorts, or was that Charles Jourdain losing his shorts? I can't remember. Whoever lost their shorts. What if Glover beats Yuri and it ruins everything? He may very well. Why haven't you ever drank? No particular reason, just doesn't suit me. Could Weidman make bets right now due to being out? I have no idea how that's going to work. I am neither. What's up with the extreme downfall of Volkan Ozdemir? He's been on one for a while. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess he's fighting good competition. Everyone's been sleeping on Leon. His stand-up game is nasty. His hands have power and his kicks are vicious. Very true. How come you never been curious to drink? It's just, I don't know. It's never appealed to me. So, bet you couldn't name 3 of Habib's opponents before 2016 without a Google search. I probably could. Maybe. Gleison Tebow. Is he before 2016? I don't remember. Abel Trujillo is one of them. And I don't know if that's before 2016 or not. And he fought Michael Johnson in 2016. I think he fought Edson Barboza in 2016. I can't remember the guy's name. He fought a guy on short notice, I think in 2015. But I can't remember his name, but I just watched the fight the other day. I can't remember the fight. What is his name? Late notice replacement. And I can't remember his name to save my life. Daryl Horcher. Oh, that was in 2016 anyway. And I also could have named Rafael Dos Anjos. So I would have named 3 if I would have thought about it longer. I respect you don't drink. I don't drink either. I never like to taste. It's funny, maybe one time a year with friends, but it's overrated and not my thing. Yeah, some people like it, some people don't. I have nothing against it. Oh, you said besides RDA. Well, either way. Edson Johnson Horcher. Is Gaethje going to bounce back for that title shot, or do we need to see a rematch from Chandler for number 1 contender? No, we need to see Gaethje versus Rafael Fiziev. Should Paulo Costa just move to light heavyweight since we know he ain't ever winning the middleweight title? No. Like smoking weed was more fun, but I also had lazy feeling, not like OCD on my end. Okay. I know it's next week, but prediction for Kattar versus Allen. I'm leaning Kattar, but I got to do more research. What popular UFC fighter do you think is going to hit a downfall soon? I don't know. Sean O'Malley, because he's going to lose to Yan and he's never going to be the same again. He's going to survive just enough. Imagine Yan gives him like a Jose Aldo type beating. in like the third round. None of those. Okay. Who is the closest to beating Khabib out of everyone he fought in order from 1 to 3? I don't know, man. None of them were very close. Joey, what are your thoughts on Masvidal calling for a title fight with Leon Edwards? I don't know, man. I mean, Masvidal's always begging for fights that he never won it when the guy wasn't the champion, and now he wants an undeserved title. He doesn't deserve a title shot, so I don't want to see him. Gaethje going to be better now because he got his breathing fixed? Maybe so. I can't wait to see Gaethje. I can't wait to see Gaethje back in there, but I want to see him versus Rafael Fiziev. I want to see Rafael Fiziev versus Justin Gaethje. That's the fight that makes sense. That's the fight the fans want to see. And it actually pisses me off that Gaethje's saying, I'm not going to be no stepping stone. I ain't going to be no stepping stone. Yeah, if you beat Fiziev, you can earn yourself a title shot. So, dude, just shut up and take it, fight. But he thinks he's going to lose. That's why he doesn't want it. So, Charles' resume is 10 times better than Khabib's? No, not 10 times better. It's getting close, though. It's getting close, though. A win over Islam, and it's close. I honestly think Yan is going to wobble O'Malley early. It wouldn't shock me or hurt his legs. If Leon beats Usman again, will Khamzat versus Leon be next, or Usman versus Khamzat, even if Usman doesn't have the belt? It'll be Khamzat versus Leon if Khamzat stays at welterweight. I must be delusional about Justin, but I feel he murks Fiziev. I think Fiziev murks him probably. That's why he doesn't want that fight. He has so much power. Yeah, but Fiziev is such a great striker. Fiziev is an excellent striker. He has so much power. Arman Tsarukyan going to be a nightmare for top 5 real soon. There's a lot of guys lingering out in that top 15 space that are going to be really tough to deal with. Justin needs a change of coach. Maybe. Maybe not. I think Justin can beat Fiziev too, but Joey said Fiziev somehow checks Gaethje's nasty leg kicks. I don't know how his legs are too strong. Fiziev's got great checks. Fiziev's got great hands. Fiziev's super defensively responsible. I don't know how he beats him. Fiziev will embarrass Justin. It'll be a fun fight, though. It'll be a firefight while it lasts. I'm a Khabib fan. You think I need to Google Khabib? Okay, you're talking to someone else. We're still talking about that? I got to rewatch Fiziev fighting. I must have been half watching. Yeah, Fiziev is an excellent fighter. Watching you in school, the math teacher is sick. Okay. You're in school right now? Well, I guess it could be. Who knows what time it is where you're at. All right, guys. We're going to go for another few minutes. Like the stream. Subscribe to the channel. If you want to support the channel, become a member of the channel. The link is in the description, but I'll also post it in the chat for you guys real quick. You can become a member of the channel. You get extra live streams, loyalty badges, custom emojis to use in the chat, as well as the comments, and the members-only Discord. So if you want to become a member, there you go, right there. Also, guys, before I go, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MMA Joey C. There you go. Boom. Go follow me right now. Maybe I'll follow you back while I'm still on stream. Go follow me right this very second. This has been an almost 3-hour stream. I'm tired. I'm tired as hell, and we went about 3 hours. All right, guys. Couple more questions, and then I'm gone. Couple more questions. Who has the better chance versus Fiziev, Justin, Volk, or Chandler? Probably Volk, honestly. Probably Volk. Just because he's had such a high fight IQ. He's so well-rounded. He's defensively responsible. I think Volk would have the best chance. Chandler will get chinned. Justin has a decent chance, but I think he gets chinned as well. So, peace out. See you later, VT. If you were signed by the UFC, would you slow approach and fight up the rankings or try to go to the title fight? It depends how I felt. Depends how I felt about my skills, though. I still felt like I had to grow a lot. Then I would probably want to slow go up the rankings. So, all right, guys, I am going to get out of here. I appreciate every single one of you for joining me tonight. If I'm not live tomorrow, I'll be live Wednesday. And we'll talk more about UFC 280. I'll definitely be live Friday. And I'll definitely be live Wednesday. So join me then. Let's end this poll. 60% say Oliveira with the win over Islam will be the GOAT. 40% say Khabib still. So appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the stream and enjoy the rest of your night. I cannot wait for UFC 280, and we'll talk about it a bunch more later this week. So talk to you guys later. Good night.